armed Russian army. Last Friday, Ukrainian military officials announced that they struck and sunk a Russian vessel in the Black Sea using 2 Harpoon anti-ship missiles supplied by the West. The ship was carrying personnel and anti-aircraft equipment to Snake Island, which the Russians invaded early on and have used as an outpost to assist in their blockade of Ukraine. This action marks the first time that Ukraine has destroyed a Russian vessel with a new Western-supplied armament. It's an example of what we can do. The United States and other allied countries, 42 of us who are helping Ukraine, give them the tools they need to defend their homeland. By the way, the Ukrainians have now sunk so many Russian ships that the head of the Odessa Oblast military administration remarked that, quote, Ukraine is creating an underwater brigade at the bottom of the Black Sea, end quote. Despite these successes in the Black Sea, Russia has taken the upper hand in the critical area east of Ukraine called the Donbas. The Donbas region is this area of Ukraine, in eastern Ukraine, where Russia has really focused its forces. Previously, you recall, they took Crimea in 2014, and they took a part of the Donbas, Luhansk and Donetsk areas. Now they are trying to take the entire Donetsk region and more. Although the Ukrainians are fighting valiantly in this area of the Donbas, they are simply being outgunned by the Russians, who have longer range and very accurate Russian missils. The stakes are really high right now. The fate of a sovereign country to remain free hangs in the balance. But not only that, if Vladimir Putin is successful here in the Donbas, taking more than he already controls, I think it would be naive to believe he will stop there. Based on his own words, he won't stop there. The Baltics could be next. He already has a puppet dictatorship here in Belarus.
So we're going to be listening
these countries,
to these idiots
Baltics, Poland, Romania, where I was recently, Moldova,
What's up, Mike?
They are all concerned, and rightly so. We cannot allow him to achieve these goals. Last Wednesday, the Senate Ukraine Caucus, which I co-founded along with Senator Dick Durbin, hosted 6 members of the Ukrainian Parliament, or the Rada, leaders in the Parliament, who came to talk to us, along with the Ukrainian ambassador to the United States, Oksana Markarova. They offered a very blunt view of the current war, which we've now heard many times over these past several weeks. Ukrainian soldiers are fighting very hard to defend their homeland, but Russia is incrementally advancing, killing 100 to 500 Ukrainian soldiers every day, as well as dozens of civilians, and destroying cities in the Donbas area with a steady barrage of missiles. Russia is sitting back and firing these guided missiles with impunity because the shorter-range Ukrainian missiles can't reach them. The delegation of Ukrainian parliament leaders included David Arakamia, one of Ukraine's lead negotiators with the Russians. He told us that the Russians are essentially delaying negotiations until Russia has secured control over this whole area of the Donbas. Then they will pretend to engage in negotiations while taking that time to recover their combat power and prepare for yet another offensive. Russia must not be allowed to continue to gain ground in the Donbas. We've got to get the Ukrainians what they need to protect themselves, the weapons and equipment they need to be able to succeed, so that they can have a negotiation with the Russians, but on their terms.
I don't know whether I'll be awake for dark show tonight.
There's a solution to the Ukrainians being outgunned. Over the past several weeks, Ukrainian officials have explicitly requested advanced Western rocket artillery systems. The U.S. operates one such system. It's called the HIMARS, or High Mobility Artillery.
And all they're doing right now is they're killing time.
We have hundreds of these in our inventory,
they get the Texas bill,
many of which are not with active units. They are superior to Russian artillery in almost every respect: mobility, reload time, accuracy, and most importantly, range.
New weapons.
And yet, during Ukraine's hour of need, it has taken us too long to respond, and we are providing too few units to make a serious impact. 3 weeks ago, the administration did announce that they would send HIMARS to Ukraine, but just 4 units. With the time it takes to train Ukrainian soldiers on how to operate this platform, the systems will not be combat ready until at least this week.
They have a hearing today. The Texas Senate has a hearing today.
So we announced it a few weeks ago, but every day, brave Ukrainians have been dying, and Donbas cities have been systematically destroyed and the countryside has been conquered step by step. We must act more
Let's
quickly,
see what
and
the
we
House
must do
of
more.
Reps are talking about.
The Wall Street Journal editorial
Apparently
board
they
recently
just
expounded on
started
this
knocking
argument
on
in
back.
very stark terms when they said, and I quote, "How many
So
rocket
let's try to
systems do
keep
our
an eye
friends
on all
need?"
this.
Well,
So we'll just mute him. And let's go over and see.
Listen to the Book Notes
Can
Plus
everybody hear this
podcast
okay?
with Brian Lamb every
I think I
Tuesday.
remember to actually click the right button this time.
Representatives Colin Allred, Cori Bush, and Pramila Jayapal, I inform the House that these members will vote yes on H.R. 7777.
For what purpose, the gentleman from Indiana rise?
Mr. Speaker, as the member designated by Mrs. Walorski from Indiana,
Does that dude even
I
have a
inform the
neck?
House that Mrs. Walorski will vote nay on H.R. 777.
For what purpose, the gentleman from Virginia rise?
Mr. Speaker, as the member designated by Mr. Connolly and Mr. Byer, I inform the House that these members will vote yes on H.R. 7777.
Cybersecurity workforce
For what
training
purpose
bill.
does the gentleman
Okay.
from Florida seek recognition?
Thank you, Mr. Speaker. As the member designated by Mr. Waltz of Florida, I inform the House that Mr. Waltz will vote yay
So,
on H.R.
I don't know
7777.
anything about this bill. I haven't looked at this bill. So I can't tell you anything about what they're voting on right now.
For what purpose, the gentleman from Pennsylvania rise?
Thank you, Mr. Speaker. As a member designated by Mr. Rogers of Kentucky, I inform the House that Mr. Rogers will vote yay on H.R. 7777. Additionally, as a member designated by Mr. Muser of Pennsylvania,
Okay, he's
I
still
inform the
speaking on
House
the
that Mr.
Russian
Muser will vote
invasion.
yay on H.R. 7777.
For what purpose, the gentleman from Tennessee seek recognition?
As a member designated by Mr. Palazzo of Mississippi and Mr. Guest of Mississippi, I inform the House that both Mr.
Shrink
Palazzo
this down.
and Mr.
Let's
Guest
expand this.
will vote yay on H.R.
So
7777.
this doesn't
Thank
even
you.
have a bill number yet. This is just the draft.
For
that
what
they
purpose,
should
the
be
gentleman
voting
from
on tonight.
Texas seek recognition?
Mr. Retiring Speaker, as the member from the Great State of Texas, designated by Mr. John Carter, Great State of Texas, I inform the House that he will vote yay on H.R. 7777.
We're going to lower him down a little bit so he's not so much in the damn way. Okay, Dummy's still speaking on
For
Ukraine.
what purpose, the gentleman from Colorado seek recognition?
Let's see. I'm going to just skim this real
Ms.
quick.
Strickland, Mr.
What's
Lemon,
up, Fudd?
Ms. Hayes, Ms. Moore, Mr. Keating, Mr. Rush.
Fudd, we're waiting on the Senate to vote on this bill because they should be voting on it tonight.
7777. That good?
For what purpose, the
So
gentleman
we're
from
going to
Texas
skim
seek
this and
recognition?
see what exactly they're looking at. I know they got red flag law in here, or well, not red. This isn't a national red flag law. This is giving money to states to do their own red flag laws. So it's offering that monetary gain to the states if they say they will play by the federal rules. Okay, they're still voting on that shit. Now, the Uvalde hearing, this thing started out at like 10 o'clock this morning. This is still going right now. I've listened to quite a bit of it today. It's been the major part of my focus today, listening to stuff. And it's a complete shit show, to be honest with you guys. There's so much stuff that happened during this that so many things that could have been done better. So many things where different types of security and stuff have been talked about for the last 20 years that hasn't been done yet. And it all culminates to this shooting and shootings like it.
That's exactly right. Fair point.
It could have been stopped.
For what purpose does the gentleman from Florida?
All right, let's get back
Mr.
here.
Speaker,
Let's
as
look
the
at
member
this.
designated by Ms. Mang of New York,
To
and
make
Mr.
our
Connolly of
communities
Florida, I inform
safer.
the House that these members will vote yay on H.R. 7777.
Let's see. Short title. So we're going to buzz through this. I'm still trying to check back and forth with the Senate. I just want to see the major parts of this. Let's zoom in a little bit more.
For what purpose does the gentle lady from Michigan seek
See
recognition?
if we can get another.
Mr. Speaker, as the member designated by Mr. Kind of Wisconsin, Ms. Stansberry of New Mexico, and Ms. Bernice Johnson of Texas,
Yeah, Mike, you're right. Yeah. It's like a lot of things. The federal government holds money over states' heads, and if states don't do what the federal government wants them to, they take that money away. And let's be honest, when you're looking at millions and millions of dollars that could be pouring into these states, the states are going to toe the line for whatever the federal government says they should be doing.
Mr. Speaker, as a member designated by
I've had so much other stuff going on in the last little bit. I didn't even realize I had my other headphone in my ear.
Yes, on HR
Good God, I'm losing it.
7777.
I really am that tired. I think I got maybe an hour and a half of sleep last night, and maybe 2 or 3 hours the night before. So this could get interesting.
For what purpose is Joe?
Review of state implementation of early and periodic screening,
Mr. Charles Carter of Louisiana. I'm from the House.
diagnostic and treatment services.
HR 777.
You know, when it's got a freaking basically a table of contents like this, it's going to be a damn nightmare. So this is the expanded background check. So juvenile records, defining engaged in business. Hey, Vanessa. So they're going to go after person-to-person sales if a person is selling firearms without background checks, a private person. They're going to say that they are in the business of selling firearms. And make no mistake, they don't really define how many guns you have to sell before you are in the business. Oh, yeah, Mike. Yeah, this is a complete, well, I'll say it out loud. This is a complete clusterfuck. This is a word salad. And again, it's more than likely going to be the most vague thing on the planet where they can trap anybody for it. Them going after straw purchasers. If you buy a firearm, say you find a great deal on a firearm at an FFL, you sign a 4473 saying you are the purchaser of this firearm, but you know you can flip this firearm and make some more money off of it. Well, you are a straw purchaser now. And that's been in a couple of bills that I've gone through already. Use of brine grants for implementation of state crisis intervention programs, stop illegal trafficking in Firearms Act. That's a whole other bill that I covered already. Vanessa, I've read the law. They could get you for anything. All they have to do is define that you are in the business of selling. There really is no number. I've read it plenty of times. There is no hard number that says you are in the business after this number or that number. Let's see. What else have they got? Let's check this dummy. Yeah, he's still going on about Ukraine.
For what purpose, gentleman from Illinois, seek recognition?
Mr. Speaker, as the member designated,
they're still going on about security.
Ms. Newman of Illinois, I inform the House that these members will vote yes on HR 7777.
For what purpose, gentleman from California, seek recognition?
Yeah, Mike. Anything over with handguns right now, anything over I think 2 has to be reported to the feds. I know people that bought 3 or 4 of a different gun for family members, and the feds showed up at their house. So yeah. That's under the reporting. I'd have to look up. It's in 922. No, it's 18 USC.
Mr. DeFazio will vote yes
Maybe I think it might be in 923. I have to look it up again. I think it might be in 923. All right, so stop illegal trafficking in firearms, misdemeanor crime of domestic violence. So basically, you could get into an argument with a girlfriend, and this is where they get into dating partners and all this other BS.
For what purpose is gentleman from New Jersey seek recognition?
You guys get into an argument. She pushes you, you push her. You have just committed a misdemeanor act of domestic violence, and guess what, kids? You lose your firearms.
Mr. Jerry Nadler and Mr. Brendan Boyle.
Forever.
From the House that.
What's up, Tori?
Members will vote yes on HR 7777.
Yeah, Vanessa, it's they're working towards that registry. One of the last bills I covered, they completely just come out and say that they want a searchable registry, which we already know. John Crump and others have covered it, that the ATF already has a de facto registry going on now. Yeah, Vanessa. I mean, you shouldn't put your hands on anybody in anger, but let's be honest. In a relationship, sometimes things can get screwy. And God knows I've never hit a woman. I don't believe in hitting a woman, but I've been in stupid situations with women where they've pushed me and I pushed them back. Now, if the police had gotten called and that story's told, guess what? Since I'm the guy and I am bigger than her, I'm the one that's going to get charged, even though she put her hands on me first. So 9 times out of 10, if there's a domestic dispute and it's a male and a female, the guy is the one that's going to get hit. Yeah, this whole thing, and I've covered it in some other bills that I've covered before, this whole thing is about making more people prohibited possessors. One of the bills I covered from Sheila Jackson Lee, and I think it is the, hold on, which bill was it? It may have been the 137.
New York seek recognition?
I'd have to look it back up. But either way, if you so much as had a volume prescribed to you, it would make you a prohibited possessor. If you sought any sort of care for depression, it would make you a prohibited possessor. And it states in that bill that over 50% of the American population have had issues like this. So if you read the bill, it's pretty much telling you that bill would make over 50% of the American people prohibited possessors. Oh, man, Vanessa, that crap is so freaking crazy. You know how many times I've been to the store and been talking to one of my buddies, and it may not even be a caliber that I own, but I'm telling them, hey, or they call me, hey, what are the ammo prices? And I tell them, hey, this box of ammo is this much. And they say, dude, pick me up a box or two. So I just pick them up a box or two, no problems. Now, if I didn't have that card that showed that I had that proper permit, caliber, whatever, oh, God, I'm too tired to do this, but we're doing it anyway. We're running it raw. Yeah, Vanessa, it shouldn't. But the bills, one of the bills they're trying to push through, it would absolutely make you a prohibited possessor. Mustang, what's up? You know, that would be an interesting thing. But here's the deal. If it is between two people that aren't members of our government, the person who is claiming the red flag against another person, even if it's false, more than likely won't be charged. if you claim that against a member of the ruling class, more than likely you are going to catch a charge for it. Oh, Vanessa, if you look at just about any of our combat vets, you could probably go as high as 90% are seeking some sort of care or under some sort of care for PTSD, traumatic brain injuries, you name it. It could possibly make all of them prohibited possessors. Not to mention the fact that our government basically says that all vets are potential terrorists anyway. They have mentioned veterans in a lot of different hearings and basically say that they are potential terrorists because of the skill sets that they have. Let's see. Let's get back to this. Misdemeanor crime and domestic violence. Extension of moratorium. Extension of moratorium on the implementation of a rule to eliminate the anti-kickback statute, safe harbor protection for prescription drug rebate. What the fuck are they talking about? This is about prescription drug rebates? Oh my God. You know, John Crump covered it and said the hang up on this was about money being used for abortion. This is supposed to be a bill covering firearms and firearms crimes. Why is abortion even in this? But apparently that was the hang up. And this is about prescription drug rebates. Medicare Improvement Fund. Federal Clearinghouse on School Safety Evidence-Based Practices. So the Federal Clearinghouse is basically a site where, or a conglomeration of all of the things people have talked about to make schools safer, to harden schools. Yeah, but again, Vanessa, if you are seeking help for mental deals, then basically you're a prohibited possessor in the eyes of the Democrats. Notification of clearinghouse, grant program review, rules of construction. Amendment on ESA funding. Children, Family, Mental Health Services. I can see that. But still, if you balance this against other bills, you'd be a prohibited possessor. Yeah, Mike, this is an omni bill. Yeah, Stang, this is definitely some communist bullshit. Decision draft. States, as soon as practical. Let me check the Senate. Hold on, let's listen to Chris Murphy for a second.
Local authorities and courts to take weapons, firearms temporarily away from individuals who are threatening to hurt themselves or others. We just saw Connecticut's red flag law be used just in the last month or so to take weapons away from a young man who is making threats to shoot up schools, potentially saving dozens of lives. Under this bill, every state will be able to use significant new federal dollars to be able to expand their programs that try to stop dangerous people contemplating mass murder or suicide from being able to have access to the weapons that allow them to perpetrate that crime. And as Senator Cornyn said, we will also make those dollars eligible for a narrow range of other court-based anti-violence interventions, something that was very important to our Republican colleagues. Second, this bill is going to make sure that no domestic abuser can purchase or own a gun. We are closing the boyfriend's loophole. And what we know is that in states that have taken this step already, there are 10% fewer intimate partner deaths. This is an incredibly important step forward. We know this provision alone is going to save the lives of so many women who unfortunately die at the hands of a boyfriend or an ex-boyfriend who hunts them down with a firearm. To be consistent with state felony restoration rights, this legislation will allow individuals to be able to get their rights back after a period of time, but only for first-time offenders and only if there are no crimes of violence in the intervening time. This bill will provide for enhanced background checks for younger buyers. What we know is that the profile of the modern mass shooter is often in the 18 to 21-year-old range. And so this bill has enhanced background checks for those individuals, including a call to the local police department, a process that can take up to 3 days, up to 10 days if there are particular signs of concern that investigators need to perform follow-up on. That enhanced background check is going to make sure that younger buyers who are in crisis have another check performed, perhaps a short period of time in between their decision to buy a lethal weapon to perform a crime and their ability to get that weapon. This bill has new criminal statutes banning gun trafficking and straw purchasing. This is incredibly important for our cities. We have a flow of illegal guns that come into these cities, and yet, for decades, for some reason, Congress has not given our federal authorities the ability to interrupt these gun running.
All right. You already have laws against straw purchases. You already have laws where if someone is a danger to themselves or others, you can involuntarily commit them. So you take them out of the loop so they can be treated. If you just red flag law someone and you just take guns, they can use many other objects to harm themselves or others.
To a person who is prohibited from buying the gun
to these people
because of his mental health history without a background check. We will clarify in this law that individuals like that need to register as federal firearms dealers and they need to perform background checks. And as Senator Cornyn said, this bill makes a historic investment in mental health. A historic investment in mental health.
What purpose is the gentlewoman from Texas?
Thanks to Debbie Stabenow and Roy Blunt, we are going to be able to expand out the Certified Community Health Center model nationally. That literally means millions of people in this country in underserved areas who have no access to mental health are going to be able to get it after we pass this bill. We have significant new funding in this bill for school-based health centers to make sure that kids are better served, especially those kids who are in crisis. We have help in this bill for pediatricians who are trying to do telehealth consults with behavioral health professionals. We're trying to get more training on mental health so they can help their patients. And finally, we make investments in school and community safety. Funds to help schools make their campuses safer places, but also funds for community-based programs that are doing good work in cities from Boston to Hartford to Dallas, interrupting cycles of violence in our communities. For 30 years, Mr. President, murder after murder, suicide after suicide, mass shooting after mass shooting, Congress did nothing. This week, we have a chance to break this 30-year period of silence.
They love to lump all this stuff in the same category when they're completely different causes, completely different situations.
Compromise. It is a path forward, a way that both Republicans and Democrats can work together to address some of the most vexing, most difficult challenges this nation faces. We have a chance to show parents and kids and families that we take their safety seriously and that we are prepared to do not just something, but something that saves lives in order to protect them.
Yeah, brother, if parents were actually
28
parents,
days ago,
a lot of this wouldn't
an
happen.
18-year-old young man opened fire on students at the Robb Elementary School in Uvalde, Texas. He murdered 21 people.
Yeah, if you look at
19
Japan, Japan has almost
and 2
no
teachers.
firearms. Their suicide
process,
rate
he
per capita
effectively
is higher than
committed
ours
suicide
because
as well.
they're using many different methods to commit suicide.
This was an attack that was so cruel,
Suicide has jack
so
shit to do
brutal
with the
and
tool.
inhumane that it has brought much of our nation.
And it's not firearms
to
violence
knees
when someone commits
in mourning.
suicide. It is simply suicide
Since the
committed with a
shooting, my
firearm.
office has received, as I'm sure many other members of Congress have, I've received tens of thousands of calls and letters and emails with a singular
If
message.
someone really wants to commit suicide, they are going to find a way to do it,
something.
regardless of the
Not
tool
do
they
nothing.
use. Whether they jump from
Do
a
something.
bridge, jump in front of a train, drive their truck off the road into a
Texans
telephone
are
pole,
disgusted
you name
and
it.
outraged by what happened at
Cut
Robb
their
Elementary,
wrists.
and they want Congress to take appropriate action to prevent the loss of more innocent lives.
It's not Congress's job to do that.
I don't want us to pass a bill for the purpose of checking a box. I want to make sure we actually do something useful, something that is capable of becoming a law, something that will have the potential to save lives. I'm happy to report, as a result of the hard work of a number of
Yeah, if you're
senators in
looking
this
at death
chamber,
by cop, yeah.
that we've made some serious progress. In particular, over the last few weeks, Senator Murphy, the senator from Connecticut, Senator Sinema, the senator from Arizona, Senator Tillis, the senator from North Carolina, and I have searched high and low for common ground.
There
There's
is no
some people
common
that
ground
say,
with these people.
What's the use?
There's zero common ground with them.
Why try? We know this is an issue that divides much of the country, depending on where you live,
There's freedom
and maybe even divides people
and
living in
there's
the
slavery.
same household.
There is no common ground.
But I think we have found some areas where there's space for compromise. And we've also found that there are some red lines and no middle ground.
Yeah, Vanessa,
talked,
this
we
Uvalde
debated, we
shooter is
disagreed,
like some
and
other
finally
school
we
shooters.
reached
One,
agreement
they
among
want
the
to make
four
themselves
of us.
famous. Two,
But
they want to
obviously,
take
this is
their
not
pain and
something
they
that
want to
will
inflict
become
it
law
on other
or
people.
fail to become
And
a law
three, they're
because of
absolute
a small
freaking
group of
cowards
senators.
who want
The
to
truth
get
is we had a
killed in the
larger
process
group
of all
20
this so that they don't have to answer
senators,
for
10
it.
Republicans
But
and
I will
10 Democrats
guarantee
come
you his
forward
little
and
ass is burning
sign
in
on
hell
to
right
an
now,
agreed set of
wishing
principles.
to God
And I believe as senators see the text
that he had
that
actually
supports
sought help
those
for his
principles,
issues.
they will see we've tried our best to be true to what we said those agreed principles should be. So soon, very soon, not soon enough for me, but very soon, we will see the text of bipartisan legislation that will help keep our children and our communities safer. We know there's no such thing as a perfect piece of legislation. We are imperfect human beings, but we have to try, and I believe this bill is a step in the right direction. One of the pillars of this legislation is support for community-based mental health care.
Yeah, Mike, you're right.
Following
They
the
don't have the
violent
stones to do it
attacks,
on their
we've
own.
also- we've all-
And
all heard
they
about
really
missing
want the
signs.
notoriety
The
of
fact is
trying to
the
rack
New
up
York
that body
Times
count.
recently profiled the type of young man, typically alienated, isolated, not receiving any sort of support or medical or psychiatric
Yeah,
care.
we wish
certainly
that's the
not
way that
complying
went,
with their
Vanessa,
doctor's
which a
orders
lot of people
when
do,
it
but
comes to
some of
taking
these
their
idiots,
medication that allows them to
this is
manage
where
their
they want
mental
to take people out.
illness challenges. We know that this profile is one that Salvador Ramos fit. the shooter in Uvalde. He was a deeply troubled young man.
No shit, because people who aren't troubled don't go out and murder innocent
Bullied at
children.
school. He cut himself because he said he liked the way it made him look tough. He had a history of fighting, of assaulting fellow students, of threatening sexual assault of young women.
And all
torturing
this,
and
all
killing
of this.
animals.
They have online conversations with this douchebag talking about all this stuff, but they can't find that. But if I picked up one of my guns in this live stream, they would shut us down within minutes.
Notwithstanding the best efforts of people around.
So you tell me what the freaking priorities of social media is.
Before he went to rob.
What's up, Corn Pop?
Because she wanted him to go back to the classroom.
Corn Pop, I'll get back to you on that text later. I got to flip back through our text from before that so I can look at what we talked about. Because I'm so freaking tired, I can't even remember it.
People in crisis get treatment before they reach a point like Salvador Ramos. Now, I want to be clear.
Yeah, Fire, look at this. All right.
Who's suffering a mental health crisis is
We all know the cartels' biggest thing is that they want money.
Many people
They bring in bundles of drugs,
parents, their families,
hundreds of pounds on people's backs every day, hourly.
Small subset.
Do you not think if they banned all this stuff in America, that the cartels wouldn't just start running guns instead of our federal government running guns into Mexico?
The provision of the bill, which represents
Oh,
the
this
single largest
drives me
investment in
insane.
community-based mental health treatment in American history, is drawn from bipartisan legislation.
Well, Corn Pop, if you look at some of the other bills that they want to push, like these domestic terrorism bills, yes, they would be spying on everybody.
Community-based.
So if you made a post or your girlfriend made a post and something came up and they found out she was prohibited or you were prohibited, yeah, you're going to get that knock on the door or that door kicked in, as it may be.
Health clinics. Many of these providers already operate in communities across the country, but our legislation expands the networks of clinics to deliver even stronger and more fulsome support to our communities. We also include provisions to expand supportive care in our schools, because it is at school that many of our young people will be identified as needing support. Teachers actually spend more time than parents typically with our school-age children, and the supportive services that will be part of this bill will help identify students that need that help so that intervention can become as early as possible.
How about, like
As presiding officer
was said
pointed out,
earlier,
60% of
parents
gun deaths in
become
America
parents
are
again.
Suicides.
Take care of your children.
Suicides.
Raise your
We not only
children.
want to try our best to do things that will hopefully stop the Salvador Ramoses in the future of hurting other
You know,
people.
when a lot of this stuff started was all this, you're a snowflake deal, everything's about your feelings. So it became all about a person's or a kid's feelings versus giving them the skills to cope with adversity.
And healthier communities.
We used to be able to cope with adversity. We've taken those skills completely away from our youth.
School through a door that was not locked when it should have been. That's an obvious vulnerability. Schools need to be prepared for the worst case scenario, which means evaluating.
Now he's talking about the door that should have been locked that wasn't locked, and the hearing, which is still going on right now, about the Texas committee holds hearing about the Uvalde shooting. What they said is the striker plate on the door and the actual latch on the door weren't functioning properly. So the door was locked, it just wouldn't lock or it wouldn't go into the recess like it should to actually lock the door. And the doors weren't able to be locked from the inside.
And no child should have to go to school.
So the woman couldn't have just closed the door and locked the door from the inside.
All of our students and teachers and
The dude fired 30 rounds before he even got into the school.
Peace of mind. And that's what I hope these additional resources
Yeah,
will provide.
there he is.
Now, the final range portion of this bill, beyond mental health and school safety, involves a range of provisions to prevent these sort of violent attacks from occurring in the future. Again, I believe that law-abiding citizens are not the problem. I don't believe law-abiding citizens are a threat to public health.
Oh yeah, Vanessa, it gets worse with the bills they're trying to push, and some of it. Any gun that they say is not properly stored would be a $500 fine, and they get to take that firearm from you. That's in that the Keeping Our Kids Safe bill, which is part of another bill from, I think, Sheila Jackson Lee.
There's no particular ban on a type of gun or no mandatory waiting periods, no background checks of intra-family or friend-to-friend transfer. None of these are included in the legislation. And some of our colleagues clearly would like to see that. But again, that's because law-abiding gun owners are not the problem. What we're trying to do is prevent dangerous individuals from unleashing violence on their communities. And one way of achieving that goal is through more robust crisis intervention programs. Now, that's a broad term that describes a range of initiatives that aim to reduce violence, protect the public, and connect individuals in crisis with the help they need.
Yeah, Corn Pop, that would be nice if we could actually enforce that. But, you know, like Obama was spending money on foreign elections, sending money to foreign countries to influence elections one way or the other. You think they care about it coming to the United States that way? These people are siphoning off that money. They're getting rich off of that money.
Assisted outpatient treatment, they're very effective regimes like mental health courts, like I saw in Dallas, Texas, not that long ago.
Yeah, Stang, you're right. Ass whipping solved a whole lot of issues.
Compliance is the fact that you have a judge, somebody wearing a black robe, saying you will do this.
There was an ADD when ass whippings were a thing.
But there are also drug courts, veterans courts, and the like, which aim to treat the root cause of the not the symptom.
No, these people aren't America first, Corn Pop. They're about themselves first.
Drug court programs that have delivered incredible results.
You look at some of these people, again, like Hank Johnson, who is so stupid he thought an island would tip over if we put more Marines in it. But that sumbitch's net worth is way up on the upper end now that he has been in Congress.
Focus this money solely on the 19 states.
And that man is supposedly a lawyer.
And frankly, that's the choice that's up to the state.
He's one of the biggest idiots on this planet. If he walked in as my lawyer on a parking ticket, I would probably get the gas chamber.
Related grants to crisis intervention programs, whether you've adopted a red flag program or not. Perhaps you've chosen something different. Well, this grant program will give every state funding that implements programs that they themselves have adopted.
I went and had an epidural today. It was one of the, I've had them before. This one was the most painful epidural I've ever had.
They have plenary authority to pass whatever crisis intervention laws they choose.
Yeah, these ADX,
but one of the things
these Republicans are spineless.
To have robust,
absolutely spineless.
Because we're talking about a constitutional right. So if the new law does not include due process protections, it will not be eligible.
Red flag laws, by definition, don't have due process rights.
Program takes. Our bill also provides increased protection for domestic violence victims.
No, Mustang, there is zero accountability in government. The only way accountability in government is going to happen is if there is a major uprising in this country and we take it back.
Relationships.
That is going to be the only accountability.
Whether they just have a long-term romantic or intimate relationship. 86% of gun-owning households support that sort of protection for domestic violence victims, where too often a gun is involved. Again, this doesn't limit law-abiding gun owners' rights unless somebody's convicted of domestic abuse under their state laws. Their gun rights will not be impacted.
Yeah. Midterms are going to be interesting, guys. If
protections, which as we all know is
I don't see that anything really got fixed
shall not be deprived of
with
their rights
the mail-in ballots and the voter IDs or anything like that. I don't see that anything like that got fixed after the 2020 election. So coming to 2022, it's going to be interesting to see how that shakes out. Whether there's any more broken water lines on a toilet that cause polling to be shut down, whether there's 2,000 people registered to the same address and somehow they all vote.
to straighten up their act and to not.
No, come out, PLA. No, we're waiting right now to see whether the Senate is going to vote on this new gun control bill tonight. Right now, they're just wasting time in the Senate.
When they passed a background check, it's like he was born yesterday, because there was no way for the National Instant Criminal Background Check system to look back on
I was born at night, but not last night, baby.
Convictions which would have barred him from purchasing a firearm had it occurred as an adult. If a 17-year-old is convicted,
oh yeah, dude, they're going to pull something in 2022.
That information
I hope to God I am wrong, but I have zero faith that any of this stuff got fixed. So I think they're going to do the same thing in 2022 that they did in 2020.
Will make that possible. Now, the states will control what information they're willing to share, but our legislation provides an incentive for states to upload.
Your legislation is bribing states
suitability of the individual to purchase a firearm,
to make people prohibited possessors.
Juvenile records into the National Instant Criminal Background System to ensure that firearms are not falling into the hands of those under 21 who would be prohibited from purchasing that gun.
Yeah, dude, believe it or not, Corn Pop, it probably would.
So,
I know this bill is like I go out like I did a little while back. I've got too many roosters and I start zapping roosters.
It doesn't go far enough.
And
I get it.
That could be considered animal cruelty by these people and
the nature of actually
violence. And yeah, that could make me a prohibited possessor.
Where we can, and that's particularly
that's how far this is going.
50 United States Senate. But I believe the same people who are telling us to do something are sending us a clear message to do what we can to keep our children and communities safe. I'm confident this legislation
you're right,
moves us in a
Mustang.
positive direction. I want to thank all of our colleagues who've worked so hard in this process that's gotten us this far. My understanding is the text will be.
I wonder if I
released
can
essentially
show
at
it.
any moment.
Because I
Although
didn't.
The principles upon which that text is written have been public for quite a while now. This legislation is a product of.
I need to do a stream just going through Twitter and like drinking.
And ideas
it would be interesting.
On both sides of the aisle, and it makes changes that are
let's
supported
see.
by vast majorities of Americans. And
I haven't logged in a while. Let's see whether I can log in this way. I haven't logged in on my computer. I've logged in on my phone.
Communities across this country. Safer.
Okay, so that went through.
Stronger, more secure schools, saving lives.
I'm really not on Twitter enough to really remember what in the hell I'm doing with this thing.
Discuss more details with our
Let's
colleagues as they
see.
review the text in the coming days, and I hope we
The
can continue to show
flying.
the same sort of good faith and the openness to other ideas that have brought us to this point as we debate and we vote on this bipartisan legislation.
Tweets and replies. All right, so hell, that's up. Cool deal. Oh, this was Tommy Tuberville saying vote. I said, do something about the unconstitutional actions of the Biden administration and the ATF. Don't vote for the new head of the ATF. If you can't protect our rights, then I will vote for someone that will, and I will get as many people to vote, or many people as I can, to do the same. Tommy Tuberville is one of my illustrious senators. And of course, everybody drools over him because he was a fucking football coach. And I don't give a damn about that. Oh, yeah. PLA, it is. Twitter is absolutely a hellscape. The only reason I'm on Twitter, one, is to kind of advertise what I do, and two, is to follow political people, mostly people that I disagree with, so that I can see where they're trying to push the narrative at any given time.
We do the entire waterfront of domestic.
Yeah, I mean, everybody's over Tommy Tuberville. He used to coach for what, Alabama or whatever. I don't care. If this dude won't defend our rights, I give zero craps about him.
I think the recession,
and I'm really trying to be polite right now.
I don't think it is as imminent or as threatening.
Believe it or not, kids, my mom might be lurking in the stream. Even though I'm 45, I try to be respectful of my mammy.
And once you're in this situation where inflation has become somewhat ingrained, you have no real good choices.
I still think it was funny she liked the Moms Demand plasma cut that I did.
Or they'll take steps to combat it, and that means raising interest rates, which in turn will lower the demand for housing, which means you don't put.
They're still stalling like hell. What's the house doing?
Slow down large swaths of the economy, and so every month we're going to start hearing reports that weren't as good as they used to be. Not as much.
It doesn't cater to the wishes of Joe Biden and Nancy Pelosi. Thank you, and I yield back.
I'd like to thank the gentleman for his hard work over the last almost 6 months to arrive at this budget. One, it's a...
Now, Corn Pop, not so much a gentleman, but I found out one time my mom has a wicked sneaky right hook. I swear to God, she has more than 2 arms because I have no idea where the hell that hand came from. But yeah, for a little short woman, yeah. She knocked a dog stew out of me. Of course, I was being an absolute moron and had that shit coming, so kind of funny now. Yeah, I try to, Mike, but watching stuff like this, I almost can't help myself because it's just so freaking retarded.
Well, they know what is going on here is wrong. They know that the family checkbook, it only goes so far. Choices have to be made. They know the American family's checkbook out here in Washington, D.C. should live under the same constraints.
Let's see something. We're listening to something. Let's see what they're still doing about the Uvalde shooting.
Look, I'm going to be honest. You've been too busy making our customers happy to actually make this.
That needs to be remedied. Peace officers must be given access to the continuity of care query so we know when we are dealing with mental health clients so that we can identify the least harm solutions for those persons, which may include not incarcerating our mentally ill. We would respectfully ask that you consider grant funding for embedding mental health clinicians in your 911 PSAPs and within your mental health units.
So the police now want access to your mental health records.
Clinicians with patrol officers. I'm trying to replicate that success in San Marcos now using ARPA funds.
Understand, this hearing in Texas is ultimately going to be pushed to, or ultimately going to be used to push federal legislation. So everything he's saying about the cops wanting access to your medical records.
So when
yeah,
courses and they actually get certified, then issue them the equipment versus them going to an agency and end up in some closet.
What's up, Night Strike? Do I have anybody backstage? I've freaking, yeah, there we go.
I've been backstage for the last 5-10 minutes.
Hey, well, you should. You know, I'm an idiot and I don't pay attention. You should have just said something.
I did. I just said something now, so you know.
Well, you should have said it sooner.
Well, you know, it's not my fault. You don't check things.
I'm too busy bitching about dumbasses.
Well, you know, I hate to tell you this, and you should know this because you're older than me. But you're gonna have to deal with dumbasses for the rest of your life, whether you like it or not.
Oh God, yes.
Thank you with the turn.
I mean that's not gonna change.
Look,
it doesn't matter whether they're the police, law enforcement, the government. You know, hell, your next door neighbor can be a dumbass.
Standards.
Look, we absolutely screwed ourselves when we started putting warning labels on shit. I mean, literally, we should just remove all the warning labels and let the stupid people sort themselves out.
Unfortunately, we got laws against that now.
Yeah, I know.
Police officers or school police officers.
The conversation was specific to course 2195, which is 8 hours that's required for school-based law enforcement. Our idea was we already train and certify peace officers all across the nation. Allow alert to do the course 2195 and at minimum consider it a course equivalent. The answer is no, we cannot.
And I'm trying to keep up with the Senate because, of course, they're trying to vote on stuff tonight. But I want to listen to some more about this Uvalde hearing. They've been going since 10 o'clock this morning.
We had two standards.
Well, you know, they had, you know, what, 5 or 6 cops just stay there for half an hour before they did anything.
Chucky's talking. This is
worked so hard.
Oh God, please no.
For their diligence and astute efforts to finalize this legislation. And I want to particularly single out Senators Murphy, Sinema, Cornyn, and Tillis, who really led the charge to put this together. So, Madam President, I move to proceed to legislative session.
Here we go.
The question is on the motion to proceed. All those in favor say aye.
Aye.
All opposed, no. The ayes appear to have it. The ayes do have it. The motion is agreed to.
Madam President, it is
So
my
there's
understanding
one dude said aye, and no one is there to say no.
Company S2938.
The senator is correct.
I ask the chair lay before the Senate the message to accompany S2938, and I ask for the yeas and nays.
Is there a sufficient second? There appears to be. The clerk will call the roll.
Ms. Baldwin, Mr. Barrasso, Mr. Bennett,
here we go.
Mrs. Blackburn, Mr. Blumenthal, Mr. Blunt, Mr. Booker, Mr. Bozeman.
So they're going to call the roll on the full Senate right now to make sure everybody is around. But these people are going to be cycling in and out during this vote.
Yeah.
Oh, man.
I mean, I don't like this gun control bill, but at the same time, you know, what it means for me, it just means I just don't date anymore, even though I'm single.
Cassidy.
It's like I'm not going to date, so I don't have to worry about that. You know, I'm over 30. I'm almost in my 40s. So is the 21 thing going to really bother me? No, not really. I don't like the fact that it's there for the younger crowd, but at the same time, it's honestly, Coop, it's not going to affect you or I.
Well, that's
I hate it. But right now, there's nothing I can do against it other than say, don't do that. That's about it.
Yeah, I mean that's about it. We can call senators. We can
holler. We can send mail,
noise,
snail mail, email, voicemail, every type of mail that there is. But is it going to stop? No, it's going to get through one way or the other.
Well, you know the responses we're going to get, and I've covered it in my videos. They're going to give you the most milquetoast BS response on the planet, a form letter, and they're going to blow you off. And then if you do like I did and you write them another letter calling them out that they're blowing you off, then they just won't answer you.
Mr. Crable.
That's why I say all the time right now, we have rulers. We don't have representatives. We have rulers.
And it's also why I say every single one of them, it doesn't matter what side of it, what party affiliate they are. Every single one of these jerk-offs in the Senate and the House are violating the oath of office. Even the presidency.
Yes, they are. Yes,
even
they
the
are.
presidency, the vice president, anybody who swears an oath working for the government is violating the oath of office. problem is we never hold anybody accountable for it.
Yeah. We've
Nobody's been held accountable for the breaking of the oath of office since the early 1800s.
Yeah.
Nobody has been made accountable since then.
Well, it's like Rich was talking about tonight, the 17th Amendment. You know, the senators used to be basically voted in by the House members. So you have the House voted for Senate. Of course, the states voted for the House. It was very easy to remove a senator at that time. And your House members were there for 2 years. It was very easy to vote them out.
Mr. Grassley.
When they took and they put in the 17th Amendment, that was just another nail in the coffin for our Federalist Republic.
Yeah, Corn Pop says he always passes his Nix checks, no problem. It usually takes 3 minutes.
Yeah, I know. I only pass mine.
I don't even do a Nix check anymore. I mean, I live in South Carolina. All I have to do is fill out the 4473 and give them my CWP.
Yeah. Well, see, I'm in Alabama, and I've got an Alabama concealed carry or a carry license, so I can carry long gun, short gun, open, fucking whatever, concealed. But see, a bunch of our sheriffs in certain counties were just giving out carry permits like they were candy without even running background checks. So if I go to a store and they ask me about my carry license and I show it to them from Alabama, ATF already put a letter out saying Alabama carry permit does not count for a background check.
Yeah.
That is from the ATF.
South Carolina's does, because in order to keep a carry permit in South Carolina, they have to do a background check on you like every month or so.
Oh God, every like month or so?
Well, you don't have to sign any paperwork. They just check it retroactively. And if you break the law, if you do anything, then they revoke it automatically.
Dude, that is freaking ridiculous.
Yeah.
Because you don't have to break a law. All you have to do is be charged.
Mr. Langford.
That's the thing. In any of the federal legislation, all you have to do is be charged for something. And you can be charged for anything if a DA wants to take the case up.
Mr. Lujan. Ms. Lummis.
Yeah, I mean, in Alabama, and if I go into Georgia to try to buy a long gun, I still have to do NICS background checks. And of course, most of the time, my NICS background checks have come back within just a couple of minutes.
Yeah, mine have too. When I actually do NICS checks, I've gotten a proceed within like a minute or two of it being sent.
Now, here is something that I haven't talked about, and maybe one of these days I will do a stream on it. At one point in time, I had a record, and I was able later on to get that record cleaned up.
Shame.
Yeah. I lost my firearms rights for about 10 years, believe it or not. And I got everything back, which is why I build firearms now, and I'll show off stuff on streams. And, I passed background checks with no issues.
Because you got it expunged, right?
Well, it got basically put under first offender status.
Mr. Manchin.
So with first offender status, it basically seals that record. It's still there, but it doesn't count against me. It's not like an expungement where it is completely wiped away. It's also one of the reasons that I started to get into gun laws and how gun laws work and proposed gun laws and how they would affect things. That's why I really got into all that.
You look there in that video. There's nobody there.
Mr. Merkley.
No, they're not there.
Ms. Murkowski.
They're
Mr.
cycling
Merkley,
in and
Mr.
out.
Terry, Mr. Ossoff, Mr. Padilla.
Every seat in that room should be full right now. But you see, like, what, 15 people standing there. And that's including the people behind the desk who don't even count as the members who are voting.
But if you don't have anybody vote no, and you only have a couple people that vote yes, it passes anyways, does it not?
Oh yeah, it'll roll out. All they got to do, they have to establish a quorum saying that so many members are present, and then they can vote on it. If that number of members are present where they can establish that quorum, they can vote on any piece of legislation. So if there were 40 Democrats there and 3 Republicans, and they met that quorum, that number of people.
I'm not surprised there's not a Republican there that's got a stick up his ass that says, okay, I'm going to filibuster this.
Yes, Mr. Scott,
There should be.
There should be, yeah.
Mr. Scott of South Carolina, Mrs. Shaheen.
You should have a person standing on the Senate floor right now going over gun statistics, going over from the trace to FBI statistics to Bureau of Crime statistics.
No,
just sitting there going.
I got one better. The statistics of assault weapons being used after the 1994 ban.
Oh yeah, because there are hardly anything there.
Mm-hmm.
The 94 crime ban, when the government looks at something and says, well, we don't really know whether there was any real effect from it. What they are saying is it absolutely didn't change a damn thing.
The statistics were too little to tell.
Yeah, that's what it was. It was, we didn't really have enough
to determine an outcome.
Yeah, which means it didn't do shit. You know what really stopped a lot of these shootings when it came to the 94 ban and stuff? You also had the 3 strikes rules. You were actually taking violent people and putting them in prison and keeping them there. That's what drove down gun crime.
Well, you're not going to have that now with all these criminals that are elected officials.
Oh, no. Dude, there's so much I want to say about some of that stuff, but
right now you can't tell between a normal Democrat and a criminal.
No. Well, you can't tell the difference in between some of these Republicans and a criminal.
I
mean, you look at the people. John Crump said there are 13 Republican senators that are going to vote for this legislation. Our rights are not bargaining chips. But every time something like this happens, whether it's the 34 NFA, whether it's the 68 GF, I'm getting things confused. Whether it's
the 34, 68, 86.
86, yeah.
Those are the major ones.
Whether it's any of those, I mean, they sold us out. Well, and there are plenty of small bills that happen in between then that are just and that's why I call my series paper cuts. It's one little cut after another cut after another cut.
You called it cuts. I called it paper cuts because it's right here. It's being legislated on paper.
Yeah, that's part of it.
It's death by 1,000 paper cuts.
It is
more or less.
Absolutely.
But here's my whole thing on this. Okay, they say, oh, we're negotiating with the Democrats. Well, what are they giving us in exchange for this gun control package?
I'll tell you.
You get to keep what I have. No, the Second Amendment says I get to keep what I have. What are you giving me back? Because that's how that's how compromise works. They give me something I want, and I give them something they want. But the problem is, it seems that the Republicans don't have a fucking spine, and two, the Democrats just take and take and take, but they never give anything. They said, well, you get to keep what you've got left. And I'm like, no. I've already got that. You don't get the right to take it away. You're supposed to give me something back in exchange for these laws. So what are we getting back? The answer is absolutely nothing.
Nothing.
Zero.
See,
goose egg.
We're
getting this.
Yeah. Their version of compromise is they win and we lose.
They get what they want.
They
get what they want, and you get to keep some of your stuff, and then they get to take more of it later because that's how their compromise works. That's not how compromise works, folks. Folks, compromise works like this: I give you something, and you give me something back that I already have, something else that I don't have in exchange for that something I gave you. That's how compromise works. Start spreading the word on that. Let people know how compromise works, because apparently everybody in the fucking nation is fucking forgot.
Yeah, dude, you are 100% right.
And I'm sorry to curse.
100%.
I'm sorry to curse. Hey, I'm just angry. I'm angry at this.
Hey, rock and roll with the cursing, because I'm going to be doing the same thing. So let it fly.
I got to do my show in about an hour or two, and it's just like, I really don't want to cover this because this is all there is to cover. I really don't want to cover this because I can't do my show and keep it PG-14 because there's just no way. I'll be spewing expletives all night.
No, and that's one of the reasons I really don't try. Like I said, my mom might be lurking in the chat. She's about my only control. But other than that, I'm gonna fucking lose it. Because if you look at this vote, they're basically voting on ending the debate on this bill.
Mr. Daines, no.
And it's 20-4 right now. That's going to keep stacking up.
How do you think I feel? I have a relative who signed the Declaration of Independence.
Yeah, you've talked about that before, which is cool as hell, by the way.
Okay, and people say Night Strike, you always say that. Yes. My great grandmother was a blood cousin of the Harrison family. Okay, blood relation. That means one of the Harrisons married into her family, further up the ladder. And, I went through and looked at it, and, apparently he's a great grandfather who signed the Declaration of Independence. That's how that works. The William Henry Harrison and Benjamin Harrison the presidents are both cousins. So that's how that worked.
Yeah, Warsaw, you're 100% right.
That's the relation I got, and it's just like, would Benjamin Harrison V, who signed the Declaration, who knew by signing that document that he could be hung and killed by the British at any time, okay? Would he go along with this? No, this is the same thing they did to him.
Well, it was said by our founders, we can hang separately we can hang together or hang separately. That is what is going to happen now.
And the joke is, during the signing of the Declaration of Independence, my relative said, yes, but this other guy who signed, he's gonna be at least dancing in the air for at least 2 hours.
Yeah.
That was my relative that said that.
now I see your private chat, Night Strike.
Yeah. I'm saying, yo, put me in the game, coach. Come on, Coop.
Dude, I wasn't even paying attention to the private chat.
I noticed.
On this crap.
I noticed. Congratulations.
Hey, man, I never said I was brilliant.
Well,
I'm trying to watch.
Don't feel bad. I never said it either.
Yeah, I'm trying to watch 3 different gun control hearings right now.
Yeah.
Read legislation and watch
I'm
YouTube
drinking an
and
old
watch
favorite.
chat.
I'm drinking an old favorite tonight, Dr. Pepper.
Oh, Dr. Pepper?
Yeah. It's a staple of the South.
Yes, it is. That and RC Cola, baby.
Yeah. Well, in the Carolina, it's also Cheerwine.
Dude, I haven't seen that in forever.
It's all over South Carolina and North Carolina because they bottle it up in North Carolina.
Yeah.
But I love that stuff because it's basically a really, really caffeinated cherry soda. And it's delicious.
Dude, I'll tell you what. The most depressing trip po' boy I have ever had in my life was in Myrtle Beach, I think.
Well, it's that's in itself. It's Myrtle Beach, okay?
Dude, I I've got family in Louisiana. I've lived in Louisiana for a couple of years. I'm used to ordering a shrimp po' boy that's on French bread, loaded with shrimp, freaking slathered down with mayo, dressed, everything. I mean, a good po' boy.
Yeah.
We were up in me and my mom were up there, and we were actually visiting my brother. We stopped at this one seafood restaurant, and I ordered a shrimp po' boy. That damn thing was like a hoagie bun with 3 overcooked shrimp on it. The most ridiculous lettuce I have ever seen in my life, and way too much mayo.
No.
It was like an absolute insult to my freaking ancestors at that point. I was depressed when I saw that sandwich.
Yeah.
Mr. Hawley, no. Mr. Graham, aye.
Warsaw, if you get me a graphic, brother, I'll work on the artwork for it. And then we can work out whatever.
I love mine.
Dude, did you see the troll work sign that I did?
No, I didn't see that one.
Oh, dude, you got to check that one out. That is the best cut that I have put together so far.
I saw the first troll work sign you made. You put Night Strike with an I instead of a Y.
Well, yeah. I never said I was brilliant. Matter of fact, I've got another.
I never said it either.
Yeah. Matter of fact, I've got another one that's actually spelled right sitting around here somewhere. That was another test cut.
Yeah.
Now the troll work sign is like hell. It's 37 inches wide, 17 inches tall. It's a double layer design. It's badass. I love that cut.
All right, Warsaw. I'll show him. Hold on.
Hickenlooper.
I gotta get it off the wall.
Yeah, rock and roll. I'll tell you what. While he's doing that, I gotta hit the restroom for a second.
Warsaw made this for me.
Sanders. Mr.
Oh, that
Sanders,
is freaking slick.
And look, he put spent shell casings on the border.
Dude, on that troll work sign, I actually put 45 brass around the heads of the screws to hold it together. Which he should get that tomorrow if he didn't get it today.
He also the chain he made using spent casings too.
That's freaking slick.
See, Warsaw Patriot made this for me. Thank you, Warsaw.
Hey,
I didn't get some of the dust off of it because
it
it was hanging on the wall. But I like this one. Don't show us your info. Don't log in.
Well, screw it. It'd be all right. Let's see. How in the hell do I actually do? Hold on.
Had to put it back on the wall. Yeah, Warsaw does woodwork.
Oh,
so
this is the freaking don't tread on me or tread on them. Killdozer.
Yeah.
I love this cut. Corn Pop's got it right now. He should have it. Hold on. Shit. Oh, that's the bare arms.
So I got something in the mail today.
What'd you get?
An M14 tool.
Oh, hell yes.
And if you're asking, why do I need an M14 tool? Because I have a Polytech M14. And all the Polytech, yes, it's semi-automatic, but the thing is that I've got all M14 parts on it. And the problem is I didn't have an M14 tool for it. So I went and ordered one, and I got one off of eBay cheap.
Oh, hell yeah.
Yeah. Some dude wanted $9. I offered him like $7 for it, and he took it.
You know I got your back. Don't ever take that. Look to the bitter end. You know I'm getting back. I'll face an army. Get working hard. Hit the pit. Blood on the bricks. Don't look back, cause I got your six. Won't go down. Never gonna quit.
So that's made where when he puts it together, he can light it. And whatever he lights it with, that filter behind the letters will pop. That is, I swear to God, that is the slickest one I have done so far.
And yes, Corn Pop, that's exactly why I got the Polytech M14 instead of the Springfield Armory M1A. Also, because the Polytechs are usually about $1,000, whereas the Springfield Armory M1As are like $1,800.
Yeah.
No, Mr. Young, Mr. Young.
They are going to take forever to get through this freaking vote because these jackasses aren't on the floor.
No.
It is so freaking boring watching these votes, and I've done it way too many damn times.
So have I. I mean, hell, when they were doing the whole open carry thing in South Carolina, I live streamed literally every day of that.
Oh yeah, dude,
of them going on, and and at the end of the day, what did we get? We got open carry with permits. So, well, it's always been a written law, unwritten law in South Carolina where you can open carry a rifle, without a permit. Period. You don't need that because it's South Carolina. It's the South. Okay, but when it came to handguns, you could only conceal carry with a permit,
Mr. Langford.
which is weird. So they amended it to where you can open carry with a handgun if you have a concealed carry permit. And I'm like, okay, that's a step in the right direction. It's not preferable, but at this point, I'll take the win where I can take the win. Okay, and we just work harder to get open. We get constitutional carry later.
Yeah, it's Alabama is freaking. We could open carry, and I open carried for a while, and then I carried concealed for a while before I had permission.
I'm still concealed carrying in some places just because Walmart doesn't like you open carrying.
I conceal carry every single day now, and I have for the last few years.
Right.
If I'm out, most of the time.
There's the MP5.
Yes, it is, baby.
I need to get the plans to do that. I've got the Amigo plans and I've got the parts to make an Amigo. I just need to get a barrel, so I'll probably have to get that from Rich. But yeah, I want to build an MP5. I want to do that, but the problem is the parts to do that are like $900, and I don't really feel like dropping $900 on parts just to do that.
The parts to do the printed MP5 are?
Yeah, it's because the bolt and the barrel, with the trunnion is like $900.
Yeah, you're right. Now I know they've been working on a oh shit. PSA P90. They've been working on a P90 where every part is basically going to be able to be sourced from regular sources. So nothing's going to be proprietary about that, I think, except the mag. And that's going to be damn interesting.
Corn Pop is talking about Cubans.
Oh, Corn Pop loves Cubans.
yeah, because he's considering he's dating one.
Yeah, if you show Corn Pop some Cuban boobies, he's done.
No,
he's through. Which I ain't lying. I'm right there with him.
Just make sure they're not prohibited persons. Otherwise, he's not able to.
Yeah. Apparently, if it's a prohibited person, Corn Pop's got to give all his damn guns up. Which, if he does, I will drive to Florida and I will give all of his guns a good home. I'm just saying, I will take in strays.
Or I could drive down there and he can give them to me and he can come and visit them in South Carolina and get them back.
Well, see, I'm in Alabama, so technically you'd have to come through my way to get down there. So we could split the difference.
Oh, no, I live in South Carolina. I can just go right. What part of Florida? Because, if he's in the Panhandle, okay, I can see that. But, I can just take I-95 all the way down to Florida. Because I live off of I-95 in South Carolina.
Well, yeah, you're right about that. You could shoot straight down if he's down there.
Yeah.
I could throw his address up, but I'm not gonna.
No, we're not gonna dox him. Throwing somebody's address and their phone number where they live, that's called doxing. You don't want to do that.
Yeah, dude. Man, I had a couple people I mailed plasma cuts to, they were like, "Hey, man, don't let anybody see my address." And I'm like, "Dude, there's no fucking way I'm going to let anybody see your address."
So he says you have to get on 75 to get to me. Okay, all right.
Oh, so you'd have to come through my way then.
Yeah.
See, there you go. We could split the guns.
We'll have to. We'll have to. Only if Corn Pop approves.
We'll split the guns. We'll split the gas, and then Corn Pop can deal with the crazy whatever he's dating at that particular moment.
Yeah. Well, no, Corn Pop. I could take I-95 to 75.
Hey, Corn Pop. I have only Googled satellite images of your house a couple times, and by the way, that thong is a little small for you.
Yeah, you might want to put a jacket on next time, Corn Pop.
Yeah, I mean, just at least get a bigger banana hammock,
or like a rope or a robe or something. Just doesn't have to be a very thick one, just a thin robe.
Oh, that silk one he had was absolutely sexy, but I mean, it showed off a lot more. There's no imagination involved.
There was no imagination with that silk one.
No, there was zero imagination involved with that one.
He says, only after I'm dead. I'll leave them in my will after the shootout.
Corn Pop, if you ever had that situation, brother, you better be texting some mofos, and I will be driving to Florida.
Right.
All you got to do is hang on for however long it takes to make it down your way.
Probably a day.
For me,
it would take a day.
Hours.
For me, it would take a day, even if he's off a 75. I could get down there.
Yeah, well, you're coming all the way from South Carolina.
I take 95 down to 10 and take 10 all the way to 75. We're good.
We'll fire loader. Yeah. Well, we'll just have a meetup, man. Whoever's furthest north can just start picking people up, and we can just stack up in a convoy.
Yeah, there you go.
All right, we can roll it. I'm game.
Miss Duckworth.
That's like the original Bundy standoff.
Yeah,
there were some guys there. I think Jim Fuller was there.
And Jim
I
Fuller,
think Yeager might have been there.
Jim Fuller's still making guns too, which is funny.
Oh yeah, he is. Fuller Phoenix.
Oh,
he's still doing build classes. He's just in Arizona now.
Yeah, because he moved from what Nevada to Arizona.
Yep.
Yeah.
Because he sold out all of his interest in Rifle Dynamics.
Yeah, Rifle Dynamics.
He started Fuller Phoenix.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
Which, dude, I would love to go take a build class with him.
Though, you know what? I really wish I could get one of those Rifle Dynamic AKs he made, because those were sexy.
Oh man.
Those were
I mean,
awesome.
he's making them under Fuller Phoenix now.
I know, but it was a Rifle Dynamics thing,
Yeah, well, the RD when he was with RD,
he made an East German AK.
Yeah.
It was beautiful. I had tears. Honestly.
Yeah, Fuller started out, man, and I've watched a lot of interviews with him.
Yeah,
like he said, when he started out with AKs, he was trying to learn about them. He bring him to a gunsmith and that, because they were all Vietnam vets, and they were like, "Get that commie shit out of my shop."
Right.
So he learned about them on his own. Of course, he had an electrical background. He had a riveting background.
Mm-hmm.
Dude is good with his hands. He knows mechanical stuff really well. And I think at one point he was like 18 months behind on building guns because contractors overseas were calling him and saying, "Hey, I need this gun built. Yeah, I want this rifle built from you because I know it's going to run. I know it's going to be bulletproof." And he was building them one by one, all these freaking custom builds, and that's what really got him rolling.
You ever watch Anvil on
yes.
YouTube?
Yes.
By the way, I just had like a 3-4 hour conversation with Mark Novak this afternoon.
Oh, did you? Fuck me running, dude.
I've been talking to him. Oh my God, you're talking to him. It's just like talking to one of the gun guys. super chill, super cool. While we were talking, he was fixing guns. And when he got done with something, he would shoot me a text and show me, it's like, this is what I'm working on. I just got this done. And I'm like, damn.
Oh man, our assignment for SDI this week was to basically find someone who was doing gun restorations, who specialized in it. And
there's really only one guy. That's him.
That was the first dude, and I put it in my paper when I submitted it. I was like, the first name that came to mind was Mark Novak.
Mark Novak, yeah.
Fucking, and then I put in. He did a video on a 3040 Craig that had been through like a house fire and restored it to beautiful condition. And the other one was a K98.
And he shot it too.
Oh, yeah. Yeah. I mean, he's out there firing it. The K98 looked like it had been at the bottom of a cesspool for about a year. And he pulled that bolt gun apart, cleaned it, all the screws, everything, and got that joker functioning. In amazing condition, where most people would have been like, fuck it, that ain't worth the scrap price, you know.
Well, the problem is some guns, and because I was talking with Mark this afternoon, and some guns, like, you know, those old Ivor Johnsons and US Revolver Co. revolvers that were just Smith & Wesson copies, they sold out of magazines back in the late 1800s, early 1900s. Those guns, they're not worth it to restore because they made so many of them. And the pot metal they used, it's not really pot metal, but the problem is those guns weren't really made to last. They were made to maybe fire about 100 rounds and then you get a decent gun.
Oh, yeah. Yeah, you got to be, which part of that paper was, and I was talking about.
Because I was telling him, because I had one and it's broken, and I'm looking at it like, if I want to actually use that gun, I got to either buy replacement parts or go and pay someone to work on that. And it's just like, I got that gun for $20 off of Arms List, and he's like, yeah, it's not worth putting any money into.
Yeah.
And he's like, and some people just need to realize and understand that some guns are made so cheaply, it's not worth putting into and restoring because they made so many of them. You can just go buy another one for like, just like double the price you probably paid for yours.
Yeah. And then some guns, which we went over this week,
unless it has sentimental value, there's no point in restoring them.
That's the big thing, is the sentimental value.
And I bought this off of a dude, for $20 because he said it was broken. I cleaned it up, oiled it, greased it, and it ran just fine. Problem is, this is before I took my gunsmithing course and found out that you shouldn't dry fire revolvers. And oh well. So yeah, it's bad what happened to James. He went over to help Ukraine, and then he came back, and he can't even speak anymore. He can't even speak at all. It's sad.
Mr. Barrasso, no.
But it happens. We can't live forever, unfortunately, and it looks like
Mrs. Hyde-Smith.
He's not living forever either.
Aye. Mrs. Gillibrand, aye.
So.
Mr. Warnock, aye.
Yeah, Walther made G41, yeah.
Miss Lamas, no. Miss Baldwin, aye. Miss Rosen,
get off the snake cage. Freaking cat sitting on top of the damn snake enclosure, freaking looking at him, staring him down.
By the way, the cat says meow.
Yeah, he does. This cat is the biggest freaking pain in the butt love muffin.
Aye, Mr. Sullivan.
I miss my cat. My cat was awesome. He was like a little dog.
I don't miss any cats right now. I really don't. I married the crazy cat lady, and as much as I love my wife, I have developed a hatred for most cats.
Yes, Corn Pop, you are right on that. Early M1 Garands, like before, like pre-World War II, they were gas trap, and then they converted a lot of those gas traps over because all it was is just the piece that you just literally just stick on the front.
That's like, how many times can I throw you out of my lap? And you keep jumping back up. Oh, he does.
Loves you. I mean, you lie. You say you don't like him, but when he snuggles up to you and is all nice to you, you're like, all right, you're not that bad.
This freaking cat. It was, oh God, it was freaking cold outside. So it was December, January, somewhere around there. Out behind my place, the old homestead that was here, the chimney's still standing. And we've left it there because I want to try to do something with it later. Turn it into a pizza oven or something.
What you could do is you could just build like, a shed or a workshop right there.
That is possible too.
And that way, and you can just build the workshop around that chimney, and there you go. You got another building there.
Yeah. But there was a cat who had kittens in basically the firebox of the chimney. It still got the insert in it.
Right.
Mr. Romney.
And my wife, being the crazy cat lady, she was paying attention. And we hear these cats crying or hear these kittens finally start crying and crying and crying. So I'm out there at like 12 o'clock one night with a flashlight pulling kittens out of that chimney.
Did you think the mama died or ran off or something?
She just ran off and left him. Because we saw her, I mean, constantly, even after I picked the kittens out of the chimney. And this was the doofus who was the one who was crying.
So you kept the doofus. Okay.
Yeah. There were a couple of kittens when we got them out of the chimney. They were barely even breathing. I was sitting there rubbing on them, thinking they were dead, just kind of heating them back up. And all of a sudden, I had like 5 cats, plus the ones I already had.
Yeah.
So
I had one cat, and a few years ago, he got his kidneys failed, and we had to put him down. But he was a stray that basically decided that he'd adopt us, and people say cats act like cats.
Services has been serving.
He went after mice and any bug that would come into the house. He would just like swat. But other than that, he acted more like a dog than he did a cat.
Since the senseless massacre of 19 innocent children and their 2 teachers.
Oh yeah, dude. One of the coolest cats that I've had was
much has been done.
A cat that me and my wife caught outside the workshop that we actually met in.
Christina Mitchell review.
And he was a freaking awesome cat. Big old black cat.
The law enforcement response.
I love that damn cat. He ended up disappearing.
Was an abject
it happens.
Oh, and that sucked, man. That broke my damn heart.
Yeah.
Now I got this doofus. Say hi to everybody.
Meow.
And he does not care what you do to him. I can lift him up by his tail, and he just looks at me like, really?
The only thing stopping dedicated officers.
Don't do that. You don't need to do that with him.
No, I don't do it all the time. I do it when I'm playing with him. I'll grab by the tail and flip him over, and he just freaking sits there and purrs.
Yeah, Corn Pop, my cat used to take care of my squirrel and rabbit problem, and then my cat ate a squirrel, and we had to go and take him to the vet to make sure he didn't get rabies. and at that point on, we had to forcefully retire him from squirrel duty.
Oh, dude, and I was
commander.
I had to get a steroid epidural in my back today, so I stopped by my parents' place because they won't let you drive to go get them or when you leave. And my dad drove me, so I stopped by their place, and one of their cats that has basically adopted them apparently busted a dove because there were feathers and wings every damn where on the side of the house. It looked like a fucking dove exploded.
Yeah, I mean, before we let my cat inside the house, he used to bring mice, dead moles, and dead birds to the front of our house. Saying, look at what I caught because you can't catch it.
Oh, it's more fun when they bring them there alive.
Well, by the time we always got it, we they were already dead. So it's just like, get the shovel out, put it in the garbage can.
Oh, dude, we had a big old black cat when we were in Germany. My dad got it from one of his soldiers. And this cat, when she went to move from one place to another place in Germany, she just threw all the kittens in a box and threw them on the loading truck or the moving truck, and that's how he rode. So if he heard anybody with boxes, he disappeared. But he would bring us live stuff all the time.
Right.
I opened the back door, backsliding glass door one time. He had this big old blackbird, and he turned it loose in the house. So it took me forever to catch this big damn blackbird, to get the blackbird outside. And all the time he's swatting at it, looking at me like, hey, just catch it. It's yours.
I like 675 Mustang. His cat watches gun videos. She likes keeping his ammo warm.
Hey, hell yeah. That's a good ass cat.
That's a good cat.
This shithead just, I don't know what he is. He just likes Levins.
Well, you know what? Sometimes you need that too.
He likes Levins and trying to scare the ever living shit out of me.
Mr. Bennett.
In my bathroom, in the master bath, there's a cabinet above the toilet, and it's tall. I don't think I can touch the top of it if I'm.
And he loves to get up there and cry, doesn't he?
He gets up there, and you'll go in there in the middle of the night and have to take a pee. You're not paying attention to anything. All of a sudden, you got this freaking cat bailing down on top of you. It's like WrestleMania from the top turnbuckle.
It's because he can't get down by himself.
Oh, God, man. That Joker is like and I don't freak out easy. It is kind of hard to make me freak out. But when you're in there in the middle of the night and you're trying to take a pee, holding your stuff, and all of a sudden there's a cat hitting you in the face, it's a little disrupting.
Yeah, you'll miss the mark.
Oh, yeah, you definitely miss the mark. Luckily, there's a trash can sitting next to the toilet that kind of catches the overspray.
Yeah. You okay? You need to take that?
No, it was a message from someone.
All right.
I'll message him back in a little bit. No, it was a message about some stuff.
They are slow as hell on this today.
They're dragging ass. But like we said earlier, you look at this vote going on and you look at how many people are walking around the Senate floor.
Look at how many are no.
And then
they've got the 60 votes to pass it.
Yep.
So.
And then you look at the grouping of these people. You see Cornyn right there. God, I can't remember John Cornyn. Cornyn, whatever his name is.
Cornyn.
I don't give a shit. I'd punch
I know
him in the
you
face.
do. It shows.
And then you look at the mix of Democrats and Republicans, and they're just shooting the shit, high-fiving each other, chilling out.
Will they finish the vote tonight? No, they'll probably stop to get dinner, and then they'll reconvene tomorrow and finish it tomorrow.
I'm kind of betting this vote's going to happen tonight. That's the only reason I'm hanging out, because God knows with the amount of sleep I've gotten for the past few days, I want a damn nap. But I also want people to see this ridiculous crap that's going on.
The 675 Mustang says, nah, they got to take a nap first. It's probably true.
Man. Long as I don't do like I did at the end of one stream where I just absolutely fell asleep. My daughter's sitting there fucking knocking on my head going, Daddy, Daddy. And I'm like fucking out. Don't stay up for like 24 hours, get 2 hours worth of sleep, and then run for 26 hours. you
Yeah,
will,
I wouldn't
you will
recommend
tend
that.
to shut down.
Yeah.
Uh-oh, what the hell just happened? Resume playback.
It looks like they stopped.
Nah, it's a resume playback. Every once in a while, freaking C-SPAN is like, do you want to resume playback? No, I really don't, but fuck me, I'm watching.
They've got 61 votes. They got, 29 no.
29,
So
yeah.
they've got it. They've got it.
Berkeley, aye. Mr. Thune, no.
Okay, 62-30.
From what I heard, at least old Tommy Tuberville voted against this shit.
Yeah.
Who is one of my senators.
Problem is, my senators are Tim Scott and Lindsey Graham.
Oh, yeah, dude.
I'm host.
Christ. Yeah,
I'm
you're
host.
host. Yeah. You can hang it up. Because Lindsey Graham grew a pair of balls when fucking John McCain died for a little
He
while.
grew a pair of balls and then he lost them.
Yeah, and then he just gave them up. I mean, it's like he walked past a trash can and pulled them out of the front of his shorts and just threw them in the trash can when he went by.
Because when they tried to ban the AR-15 the first time, Lindsey Graham was one of the first Republicans to take his on national television and say, "Hey, this is my rifle. You can't ban it."
Yeah, absolutely.
That was Lindsey Graham. Now, where are you, Lindsey? I don't see you. Where are you? I don't see you.
These Republicans are all about how the media is going to portray them. So if they make a stand against this, then the media is going to portray them as, oh, the NRA you're in the pocket of the NRA, which the NRA is worthless. You're
Right
in the
now-
pocket. The NRA becomes the boogeyman.
Right now, I hate to say this, but Wayne LaPierre has become what the NRA of the 1970s that he overthrew was.
Yeah.
He did the same. He's done the same damn thing.
Yep.
He doesn't realize it.
Absolutely. I think he realizes it, but he's making so much money on it, he just doesn't care.
What I really would like to know is who's in charge when he dies.
No, that's an interesting question. If he drops
Because
dead,
as far
who
as I
takes
know,
over?
as far as I know, none of his kids or family is in the NRA.
Yeah.
So he can't just will it to his kids.
Yeah, it's going to have to be
Cruz,
some
Mr.
sort of
Cruz,
vote to the
no.
organization to vote for a new head.
And that and I hate to say this like that, but the only way we're gonna get a decent NRA is if Wayne LaPierre dies.
Oh yeah, dude.
I don't wish death on anyone. I really don't. But at the end of the day, the only way we're gonna get a new NRA president, other than Wayne LaPierre, is if he keels over. And it's sad to say, but hey, guess what? Them's the cards we've been dealt.
Well, I really think the only way that we get a NRA that is actually functional for our rights is if Wayne LaPierre goes away. I don't care where he goes. And then you take people from like GOA and the Firearms Policy Coalition, and they come together under one roof. That's how you get a functional organization that will actually defend our constitutional rights.
Honestly, I think if the GOA, the FPC, the 2AF, and the NRA went together to create one organization, we wouldn't have gun control anymore.
No, we wouldn't, because that would
Ms. Murkowski.
Those are the groups that do anything in this country. NRA doesn't do anything, but those other groups, the 2AF, the Firearms Policy Coalition, and the GOA are the only ones really doing anything right now.
Well, the NRA has the name recognition. The other people,
They've got the name. They don't have anything else.
Yeah, the GOA, the Firearms Policy Coalition, Matt from Fudbusters, those are the guys who are actually busting chops to defend our rights.
Mm-hmm.
And if it's kind of like this, the Republican Party, okay? If the Republican Party would not be such dumbasses and they would actually combine with some of the Libertarian Party, I say some of the Libertarian Party, and some of the people like us who are just for freedom. We don't care what it is. We are for freedom.
Yep.
You know, if the Republican
Mr.
Party
Portman,
would
Mr.
combine with
Portman,
people like that,
aye.
they would be unstoppable.
I am for freedom, but as Warsaw Patriot likes to point out, I'd like to censor him, but that's only because I like to tease him.
Well, this is true. I mean, we could ball gag him every once in a while just for shits and giggles.
Right, exactly. You know,
it's kind of like taking John Crump and just playing jokes on his ass the whole time.
Or it's kind of like how John Crump always, messes with Rich.
Oh yeah, absolutely. Yeah. Rich will go to say something, and John will just drop his ass out. I mean, it's funny as shit. I love both of them.
No, we can't back that one up. Wayne LaPierre is not Jimmy Hoffa.
No, absolutely not.
Because we can actually find Wayne LaPierre.
I wish he would go the way of Jimmy Hoffa.
Yes.
Where we couldn't find him. But right now, we know exactly where he is in his $20,000 suits. Or his fucking $50,000 African hunting trips. Yeah, we know where he's at.
His extravagant trips to Europe and his $30,000 suits. What do you need $30,000 suit for? I mean, dude, why are you going to Europe? You don't need to go to Europe. You're supposed to go to the States.
Oh,
Europe doesn't give two shits about the Second Amendment. They don't give two shits about rifles.
Let me see.
Sorry about that.
No, dude, you're 100% right, man. Rock and roll. No, we don't give a shit. You got a $30,000 suit. Okay, you got 10 $30,000 suits. All right. What are you doing to defend our rights? Because if you're not doing anything to defend our rights, I really don't give a damn.
Mr. Scott of South Carolina, no.
Whoa. Did you hear that?
Yep, Mr. Scott of South Carolina said no.
So I got one guy that says no. I got one.
Mr. Homan.
Now remember, this is just to end debate.
I know, but I'm taking the wins where I can. Okay.
Yeah, taking. Well, the Democrats do. Any little small win, they're cool with.
Yeah.
Fuck, I'm looking for something specific. I don't think. Nope, it ain't showing up there. Let me see what I can find something. Because it's not gonna show my personal information, but
it'll show you talking to Bob. I see how Bob.
Yeah. I mean, you'll see who I'm talking to, I mean, you'll see messages from 2AEDU. You'll see messages from Dark.
How is Bob, by the way?
Man, I think he's doing all right. I think he's got some shit going on that he's working with, but it's just a matter of life, basically.
Well, everyone pray for Bob, okay?
I mean, Bob got his plasma cut today, and he likes it, so he's freaking digging on that, which is cool as shit. Here's something cool. Let's do this. Let me see.
Oh no!
Yep.
No.
We are gonna do dust, baby.
Oh,
This is the video I had Crump do for me.
Commander Brown, Detroit Urban Survival Training. Coop, John Crump tells me you're starting a new business. And this is what's important to remember. You're going to be successful. Nothing can stop you. Remember, conceive, believe, achieve. What you conceive affects what you believe, which affects what you achieve. So simply believe, no matter what, that you're going to succeed, and you will. So that's what you're going to think about every day, how you're going to get it done, and nothing can stop you. And that's an intelligent option, which will increase your survivability and your success in life.
I don't know. We're missing that we're going to have to cut that out. You know what I'm talking about. It's like when Joe first saw that. Now I was there in that chat, and I'm like, he's like, man. Yeah, I saw that. Thanks, John. And by the way, Night Strike, I saw it on your channel too, and I'm like, yes,
that was beautiful. That was absolutely beautiful.
Because I didn't figure he'd see it on my channel. He's like, I saw you post it too, Night Strike. It's like, Yes.
See, when I originally hit him or hit Dust up for a cameo, I wanted him to kind of do something that was kind of channel related, and they denied me. And I tried again, and of course the email address was the same, so they denied that one. So I sent John the money and had John do it. And I was hoping John would fuck with me a little bit. Like, this guy likes pain and all this stuff and go on about it.
Why did they deny you? What? They're too busy. They can't do it anymore?
No. It was because it was associated with a YouTube channel, which in their eyes is a business, which technically it is a business. So they denied it. And they wanted like $500 to do it for a business. Instead of like,
I just got a message. Watch, that's Joe saying, "Night Strike, take that damn video down."
Tell Joe bring his happy ass on here. We ain't doing
no
nothing
kidding,
but
right?
Fucking watching a shit show. So, but yeah, that's the first time I've showed that video of freaking Dust. I'm gonna do something else on it later, but John did a hell of a job, man. He got him to actually do it because he actually denied me and wanted like $500 to do it for my channel. And it was like, no, there's no way I'm paying that asshole $500.
Richard from England's got to go to New Jersey soon. Richard Monder.
Oh, cool deal.
He's going to New Jersey soon. He's finally getting out of the country.
Hey man, rock and roll.
Because he's been stuck over there in the UK forever, and because of the COVID lockdowns.
He going to New Jersey, okay. But after New Jersey, he needs to move to a free state.
Well, he's visiting right now.
Yeah.
But I told him, listen, if you want to immigrate here, all you got to do is just get a plane ticket down to Mexico and just walk over the border.
Oh, this is very true.
I mean, and I told them, and once you get over there, over the border, just tell them I'm here for asylum, or I'm here because I'm being oppressed in my own country, and they'll say, here's your green card and here's a bus ticket to wherever you want.
Yep,
and that's how it works now, apparently.
Dude, there was I can't remember his name. He was trying to immigrate here from like Scotland, I think. Had spent like 20 grand. Trying to go through the process. And last I heard, he hadn't made it yet.
I know one guy from Scotland that had he's a gun guy on YouTube as well. He's called the Crazy Scotsman.
Yeah, the Crazy Scotsman, which I've just found his channel. I've got to follow him.
I know him and Alan B Pro pretty well. Yeah. Those guys are two upstanding dudes.
Oh, absolutely, man. Absolutely.
Yeah. So. But
dude,
next week I'm gonna have to. I'm scheduling a time for me to go down and hang out with Mark Novak, because I got my Garand that needs a different. I have a new bolt that I want to put in my Garand, but the problem is I don't have any head spacing tools for that.
Oh man.
So I asked him about that, and he's like, dude, just bring that down. We'll do a video out of it. We'll get a couple videos knocked out of that. And we'll just shoot the shit.
Oh,
and I'm like,
dude.
Absolutely. And I told him, I've got an M14 too. You want me to bring that down too? He's like, yes, we can do a video on, contrasting both rifles.
Let's see. It should be.
He's like, you don't have the fun switch on that one. I'm like, no, I don't have the fun switch, sadly. So,
yeah, I'm showing off my complete desktop, but
I didn't go to SDI. I went to Penn Foster.
Yeah, I actually looked at them too. Penn
Foster was cheaper than SDI.
Yep. This was the first discussion for this week, and here it is. For this week's discussion, there was only one name that came to mind, Mr. Mark Novak.
Yep.
Because he is a fucking legend.
Yeah.
That man, I have spent so many hours watching this guy's videos.
Oh, yeah.
and watching him restore non-functional pieces of junk.
I've emailed him before. We've talked on the phone once or twice before because I was looking at getting some other guns fixed and whatnot. And then it's just like, I need to get this bolt headspace. So I emailed him, a few weeks ago asking, all right, Mark, what do you know somebody in the area that would help me just, headspace the bolt? Because that's all I really need. Because, I got a CMP grand. And
there's Mr. Joe.
Yeah, there's Joe. There's Joe. And Mark said, no, just come on down, bring it down, and we'll do a video. And I'm like, all right, cool.
Dude, one of my guys that I work with now,
because Mark is local to me, because he's in downtown Charleston. I'm on the outskirts, outskirts of Charleston because I want to have a backyard with a range.
Wait, do me a favor and cuss Mark out, because when I'm doing research on him, there's plenty of shit that pops up before his actual smithing website. So tell him he needs to step his game up a little bit.
I may get roped into doing something too. Let's just put it that way.
Yeah. Yeah, there, of course. What was it? The initial search on him will bring up like Noveski sites or some shit, or Novak sites.
No, that's not him.
No, that's not him. All right, I'm gonna mute for just a second. Let me
go ahead.
Figure this out.
And I'm tired. Coop's been dusted. Yeah, Ron Coop has been dusted. Morningstar is talking about the water Mexicans. So, yeah, 675 Mustang. Yep. The optimist in me says, maybe the pessimist in me says, no, but both sides of me says we're screwed. Well, that's a given, Mike. I don't know. That is Ron Wayne. Don't be careful. Mrs. Wayne might be out there. And you know how she likes to get him in trouble. But remember, Ron. Remember, you know who to blame it on. You know who to blame it on. It's all Kurt's fault. Ron, remember, blame it on Kurt. It's Kurt's fault. So. Kiasi says, I've been told to blame it on the rain. Well, it's in certain applications. In this application, if Mrs. Wayne is mad at Ron Wayne, then it's Kurt's fault because Kurt made Ron do it. It's totally his fault. But, she may be. Biden says blame Russia. Biden says blame everything under the sun but me because, Biden can't handle it. He's a worse president than Carter. Coop, you're muted.
Sorry, forgot I was muted. 100% agree. Yep, he is worse than Carter.
Ron says Kurt's a bad influence. He is.
So.
Oh, you got company.
Yep, the wife's home. That's who's missing me. Hey, unlock the front door. The front door wasn't locked.
Katniss said it was locked.
Yeah, my daughter said it was locked. So yeah, locked.
That's why you don't listen to the kids.
Oh yeah, they will come up with some stuff every once in a while.
Kieski says Russia pushed Biden off his bike this weekend.
Yeah.
Yeah, you heard about that, right? You know, Biden
Where
fell
he
off his
flipped
bike.
over on his bike. Yeah.
Yeah.
That's hysterical. And he's got all these Secret Service agents around him wearing all kinds of stuff. Rich did a video on. They've got like freaking tennis racket cases, which
I'm just surprised they didn't have one of them there with holding the bike while he had his training wheels on.
Yeah, they should have put the training wheels back on before he hit that particular spot.
Yeah,
he just tips over.
Wow. 675 Mustang says, "Yep, I saw it. Putin's ghost ran up and pushed him." It's more like the ghost of Gorbachev.
Yeah, probably so. Gorbachev with his big old mustard stain on his head, or freaking relish stain, whatever you want to call it.
Or it could have been Yeltsin.
Yeah, well, there you go. There's another one.
Boris Yeltsin or, Gorbachev.
Either way, Biden can't ride a bicycle, and he's running the free world.
Well, I hate to say this, but I think Biden's probably the worst president since, I don't know, Wilson.
Andrew Jackson.
No, Andrew Jackson was all right.
Andrew Jackson was a douchebag.
So were most of the other presidents.
Who was it? There was a.
Don't talk about my relatives. Okay, they didn't do anything.
God.
They did good.
No, there was one president. I can't remember who it was offhand. He basically did what a president should do. He made comments on things. He didn't do any executive orders. He basically said, "Hey, maybe we need to do this," and he kind of rallied the Senate and the House. But he wasn't like presidents now. Like, I have a pin in the phone.
Mrs. Wayne is out there. Watch out. Ron.
Oh, yeah.
Ron, remember what we practiced. It's all Kurt's fault.
Duck and cover. Slip and move. Keep them hands up.
Slip inside, duck and cover, and it's all Kurt's fault. You'll be fine.
This is true. Now, Miss Wayne, I'm working on your design right now with a few others that I'm working on. So just don't kill me. I am looking at it, and I will shoot you the artwork as soon as I get it done.
Right. But yeah, I mean, even one of my relatives who only spent like one month in office did better than Biden.
Oh, dude.
That William Henry Harrison, 1 month in office, and then he died of pneumonia. It's one of my relatives. So.
Yep. So you've got a pretty good pedigree there.
Yeah.
I mean,
the other one that served a full term. He didn't get reelected, but again, he served a full term as president. What does that say? It says that he got elected president and he served a term. So there you go.
It's
she's out there saying always blame Kurt. Laugh out loud.
Yeah.
Yep, it's Kurt's fault. She says she's not in a rush, Coop.
Yeah, I saw that. Which I'll shoot you. It should be sometime this week. There was a lot more I was going to try to do today, but dude, 2A 3D print his plasma cut that I did for him was a very simple plasma cut, 2-piece design, or actually 3-piece. I had the worst time painting that thing. I actually repainted each part of it probably 4 times. It was absolutely insane. Hey, Wova, what you got? You got your cars? Are you just going to sit them down and run? Yep. 2-year-olds. Come in, bring me a couple cars, and then haul.
They're yours?
Oh, yeah. That's my boy.
Well,
he's the one. I was telling someone else the other day, I've got a pretty open floor plan, like my kitchen and living room and all that. So I've got gates set up at 2 points coming around the bar, which is basically an
Whoa, Ron! Do not say that. That's the stuff of nightmares right there.
Yeah, you're right about that.
That is the stuff of my nightmares right there. Man.
My where my kitchen sink senses and everything is basically a long bar. And I've got 2 gates set up, one on either side. And I'm in here, I'm working on SDI work last week, trying to finish one of the assignments up. And I hear something, and I'm constantly back and forth checking on them. My son is up on my counter, naked as a jaybird. He's got a pen writing his letters, A, B, C, D, out on scrap mail on the counter, having a great time. See, he climbed the damn gate to get on the counter.
Well, that's what happens when you have kids, I guess. I mean, I don't know. I haven't found, the Mrs. Strike yet, so.
Hey, trust me, you'll find Mrs. Strike, and you'll do it when you're not even looking.
I don't think that'll happen.
Hey, dude, when me and my wife got together, she's a lot younger than me, and I'd given up on kids, I'd given up on marriage, I'd given up on all of it, and just got blindsided. So,
right,
yeah, I mean that happens. So, yeah, just don't worry about it and live your life, and I almost guarantee you, you will get run over. And then you'll have little night strikes running around, driving you crazy, and you'll be as gray as me.
I'm getting there. You see, I got this gray stripe right down my beard.
You got a gray stripe.
I got a gray stripe. Well,
dude,
I've also got gray on both sideburns too. So,
dude, I was probably 22, working for a company, and we had a meeting in Atlanta. Because the company was based in Marietta. And I cut my hair before I went to the meeting. And one of the guys, old Mike, as soon as I got there, I took my hat off, and he was like, "Damn, Coop, you're gray as hell." Because I was gray at 22. And Mike was like 23 and was balding already. And I was like, yeah, dude, my hair might be gray, but at least it's still on top of my head.
Mean.
Yeah,
mean.
Oh, Mike dog cussed me. Yeah, Coop, you blah, 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 blah.
Yep.
Oh, it was hysterical.
All right,
Yeah,
I guess I got to go set up for hit or miss, so I'll see you later.
Yeah, set up for hit or miss, brother. I'm going to hang out and try to watch this.
It looks like they're pretty much done, honestly. They're just dragging it out.
Well, they're voting on whether or not to table everything, or not table everything, but go to the main vote right now.
Right.
So if they get enough votes, then they will go ahead and vote on this bill tonight, is what this amounts to. So yeah, set up for your stream, brother, and I'm gonna be hanging out and trying to watch this whole
shit show.
Yep.
All right. See you later.
All right, brother. Take it easy, man.
Yep.
You don't even care, do you? Not right now. Say at 2 years old, all you care about is whether your butt's clean or not. And your cars. And ABCs. Oh, come here. Yeah, that's one of your toothbrushes that you brought in here. Are you brushing toothbrushes? Oh, where are you going? Because I got to get you untied from all the cords. Ooh, no, you're not untied from all the cords. Oh, yeah. Give me. Gotcha. Apparently, he is off to better adventures right now. bacon in here? I didn't even see. There's the bacon. What's up, brother? I didn't even see you come in. So yeah, we are waiting on the Senate, and they are going to apparently drag this out till late tonight to vote on this bill. Let's see. Let's mute them and let's bring up this Texas hearing again.
Don't need a key to get in.
This guy ignores the shit out of me.
This glass doesn't have mesh on it.
He clicks his tongue about every sentence.
Okay, reach in. There's a bar. Well, here's a bar. Pull that, and you're in. Now, the subject would have known that.
This is about the Uvalde shooting.
These pains are also vulnerability.
Yeah, anybody can look at that and tell it'd be easy to take a gun and shoot holes in it and reach around.
Yes, sir.
But the first question was,
he said
the
reach
lock
around.
was functioning correctly.
The lock was functioning correctly, and the door was unlocked. It was closed but unlocked.
I thought when it closed, it was supposed to automatically lock.
Well, you can set it to two. You can set it to two sections, and it's similar to the actual door on the interior as well. You can turn it all the way one direction. It's unlocked. You can turn it another direction, and it's in the lock.
Okay, so the latch was working functionally.
Yes, sir.
Well, it was just turned in a position when you close it, it doesn't lock.
Exactly. Someone did not lock that door.
Okay.
And similarly, the south door, which I described officers going in early on, that door was unlocked as well.
Second thing, okay, you made.
So in this hearing, they admit there were 3 officers inside of that school within 3 minutes of this school shooting starting. And somehow they got extracted and let the school shooting happen for over an hour.
Just said what I was fixing to ask, but the classroom door, was it locked or not locked?
The classroom door, if we can get a picture of it, I think this one is probably the best example, if you don't mind. This isn't the actual door. Well, this shouldn't really. This is the actual door, but we don't really want to use that. This is room 127 and 126. That's what 111. That's 112 and 111 would look like in that regard. And here's the door. You cannot lock this door from the inside of the classroom. There's nothing the teacher could do to lock the door inside the classroom. The teacher can come outside the classroom, as the requirement is, to lock the door with a key, only with a key, and this right here by turning it, and to the lock position. And I can actually have the door of another. This came from the West Building, one of the doors right here, and I can demonstrate that if you'd like at this time, Mr. Chairman.
So the teacher could not even lock the classroom door from the inside?
That's correct. There's no way to lock the door from the inside, and there's no way for the subject to lock the door from the inside.
The light's not on, Willa. Are we? Yeah, we're shutting the door.
We heard reports that the lock was malfunctioning, that they had turned in a request for the lock to be fixed.
My son's back in here.
So
we had to inspect the lock. The lock was functional. The strike plate was not. What was not happening is, so as you can see on this door here,
we got Paw Patrol kicking
as it was designed. But if it doesn't, if the through doesn't get into the strike plate, it doesn't. It's not. It may be locked,
I need to connect my wireless headphones.
You can just open it, and that's So you can it can be the lock position, ironically, in the lock position or unlock position, and it's still unsecured and can be opened.
No, sir, no phone for you.
Okay, so there was never a request to have a lock.
Yep. You have your toys.
The request
Daddy has
about that lock based on interview
cooler stuff because Daddy's older.
Reports that we found of submissions.
I got big ears.
So a teacher thought the lock was broken.
Don't yank the cord.
The teacher was convinced it was unlocked.
Do we
and it was broken and reported it earlier.
And was that request made like days before shooting, or weeks or months?
I think I can't say. I'd have to go back and get the exact timeline. I don't have that right now. I'll get back to you and tell you exactly what days.
First, then add sauerkraut and stick them in the oven, or
Yeah.
stick the whole shit in the oven.
No, skillet first.
Radio.
Sauerkraut, and then
Without
just
a
let them
radio,
cook down.
then it obviously was requesting a radio.
Yes, sir.
But I was told later, or maybe by you or someone else, that the radio would not actually function inside the school.
Yes, sir.
Because it did not have the strength to reach out of the school.
Yes, sir. We conducted a threat and vulnerability assessment of the site while we had control of the school. And our DPS special agents brought in our communications team, and we conducted tests of everybody's portable radio, Uvalde PD, Sheriff's Office, Border Patrol, DPS, everybody's portable radio in that west building. And the only portable radios that worked in the west building were Border Patrols. Okay, they're the only ones that worked.
All right, so we've got a police school officer whose radio will not work inside the school.
That's correct.
Are you
Yes, sir.
done with your what's a dig?
And nor would the PDs.
dig it.
So if they're responding to assist,
Yelling at the
nor
computer?
would the
No,
sheriff's
I'm
office, if they're
still
responding
yelling
to
at the
assist,
computer
nor
because
will DPS
they're
officers
still
if they're
waiting to
responding
vote on this
assist.
big gas gun
Border
control
Patrol has a
bill.
station there in Uvalde, and that's why they have
Are
so
you
many
on live?
agents
Yes.
in the area. And of course, they've got a stronger,
You go live at some point?
boost on their particular town. I can tell you that even
We'll
when we did
see.
Border Patrol and we were able to link them and patch
shit.
them all together, then even Border Patrol's radios didn't work.
Snake has a skink in there,
Okay,
and
I see said skink.
I've got
Do you see
somebody
that swing?
after you raise your hand first.
okay,
There's that.
Thank you, Mr. Chairman.
because Snake was hunting said
We're
skink
going to talk about
earlier.
different stages of this
Well,
tragedy,
snake failed.
starting with
Oh, yeah.
the shooters, social media messages.
I wish I had been able to catch that
communications
coach
with
one.
people, including the young woman in
That would have been another
Germany.
keeper,
And you talked about
considering I haven't
communications,
seen one in
talked about the
years.
communications among the officers.
He was cutting across State Dock or
Looking back
Brickyard.
specifically at all of those areas of this tragedy that you have addressed, what is it that we must change going forward? What lessons have we
I'm going to
learned
try to connect my wireless
that we could
phones.
implement going forward?
And one thing we did early on, Senator, is
See,
recognize
I'll
that
bear with me while I
it was
figure
better-
out
the
technical
Department of Public
issues.
Safety was asked to do the investigation. It was far better that we enlisted the expertise of really active shooter situations. And fortunately, Texas has a nationally recognized experts at the Advanced Law Enforcement Rapid Response Training Program at Texas State University. And they have well-known experts. And we asked them early on
We're
when we had
pairing.
control of the scene and provided them information to please let them do an assessment, okay? The tactics were employed, where the breakdowns occurred, and make recommendations, okay, in terms of other options that could have been used at that point, based upon the facts of this particular scenario, and options going forward. Moreover,
I'm still
we
not
also
hearing nothing through my
requested
headphones, so
that the
if you're
School Safety
paired,
Center,
we're still
conduct
waiting.
an audit, an assessment of the school safety and compliance with rules and regulations that relates to the requirements that have been laid out by the Texas legislature. And well, as I just mentioned earlier, we conducted our own threat and vulnerability assessment, not unlike what DPS special agents did.
Yeah, Ron, if you're getting out, brother, take it easy. Be
In the
cool.
aftermath of that brutal attack on a co-ed, and also at Texas Tech University at the request of the chancellor. So we did that same thing at that location. And of course, we came away with recommendations. From that, we made that available to the commissioner, Morath, and we met with him last week.
Yeah.
The team met with him last week.
Working yourself out of a job?
The assessment.
No, you're not working yourself out of a job, I promise you.
But there's some clear things that do need to.
Well, let's get to the
need
point where I'm gonna have to
change,
start
and I know
learning
that
how to use the mill. 'Cause
always
all of
looking
the
for
ones
ways
that
to
I can
bring
do,
those bits
I'm down
provided to
to like
the commissioner. And we
scraps.
can discuss some of
Yeah,
them.
well, I mean, that's what you need to do. And once you learn how to use that mill a little bit better, milling out for RMRs or trigger pockets or anything like that, you'll be rocking and rolling.
The perimeter, first, the campus perimeter fence is inadequate to prevent threats from accessing the campus, period.
Okay.
It's just, I mentioned 4-foot fence.
Which
It's
I was
tubing,
thinking,
very easy, very
maybe
lax,
take a
there's
Friday
gaps
off,
in it.
'cause
There's a lack of
there's
controlled access points.
really
And as you
nothing
know, the
going on in the
Capitol,
shop.
we use what?
We're
We
down
use
to
these badges, right?
maybe
Badge
50.
in. And the advantage if a teacher leaves or.
You have a mill, right?
Or if a student leaves, you can deny them access.
I got to mill the shop, yeah.
If
and
you're
you can
going
control
Friday,
access.
may
You can
I
see when people
maybe
enter and exit. So that's an
come in and
advantage.
have you teach me because
Plus,
you
it's
don't
a locking
intimidate me enough
mechanism
where I
that's more
can actually
secure than
listen to
what
what you're saying.
I can do that.
especially when the effects would be.
Yeah, and I've got
A lack of
enough
access,
like square stock or rectangular stock where
points and the entrance gates are not controlled.
Yeah.
And they're not.
Yeah,
And they
we can
don't
do that.
guide visitors to one location. Now, this
Sorry,
doesn't
we're
make any
having
difference in this
conversations
situation,
here.
But it is concern was brought out. The exterior doors, as mentioned, do not have strike plates installed to protect the bolt or latch
And I'm
from
like
prying or picking.
trying to get my wireless headphones to connect, and it's not acting right.
And other debris were removed from the area around the door, painted rocks. They had throughout the campus.
What's
along
Senate
those lines for
doing?
people back
Senate's
there.
still voting.
Exterior door inset.
They are
glass
going to
panes, which
drag
I've
this
shown
crap
before.
out.
I mean, obviously, this is like a no-brainer. Someone can go through that at some point very easily. And of course, within arm's reach, if you take out the window,
I
and you're
so
able to get your
want to
hand
be
in and
asleep
do it.
right now, but
Ironically, in the interior classrooms had web inside this interior
caught
pane that you see.
about
and
an
the
hour and a
exterior
half
doors
of
did
sleep
not.
last night.
So it was tougher. You can still take them out and put
and
your
the
hand in and open the door. It
night
doesn't mean you can't
before, I
get it
probably
out.
caught
You
about
absolutely
4
can,
hours
so he
worth of
could have,
sleep.
but he didn't need to in this particular case.
Getting to the point where I'm
all
freaking
classroom
tired.
doors being accessible from the hallways once in the building. This is further enhanced due to the fact that the access to the campus is not controlled.
Hold on, guys. I'm going to unplug my headset, and I'm going to see what I get these compared.
Classrooms outside doors. There's as many as 40 doors across, I believe 8 buildings on that campus.
Can they hear you?
But some of those are
On the
mobile,
computer, yeah.
units that they open directly out, and there's access to those mobile units from the outside. So if you get inside, the perimeter, then immediately you can access.
Well,
that
we
you're
are
right
trying
in
to
the
get headphones
mobile unit. And you
to
can drive around campuses all over the state and see these because
actually connect and
expand. So
like
now you got an
act
access
right.
door and an access issue, especially if you haven't controlled the access around the campus that would allow anybody to go up to that
Time
particular door.
lapse.
So you have adjoining classroom door. I didn't mention it specifically, but there was an adjoining door. Okay, that's how he was able to get easily between 111 and 112. It was
my headphones guys are wanting to
action by
be
law enforcement. So between 111 and 112, the door was, we believe, unlocked because it was always kept unlocked because teachers will watch their students or someone else's students if they're out of the room at that point in time. So it's
apparently my
and
computers
even
want
if
to be
not, it's
absolutely
easy
stupid too. So
to breach
What are you
that
doing, Walt?
particular doorway, and there's 2 doors adjoining the room. A knock box. You heard a lot about keys. Where are the keys? Where are the keys?
yeah, they're going to drag. I'm afraid they're going to drag this out until late tonight.
For first responders. If we had it, they could have.
That way,
master keys
no
to go
one
to
is
one
really
place.
going to cover it. Is
Duress system.
really
There's
what
no
this is
duress
going to
system throughout
amount
the
to.
campus. And the lack of it,
They've done it with plenty of things before,
redundancy
and
features, which is recommended.
I think that's what they're going to do
The entire campus
for this.
multiple notification platforms. So they have a Raptor system and they did.
What's up, Lola?
Well, they sent messages out and hit teachers and went to everyone along those lines, but it's not the same as a duress system.
Of course, he's got to
Evacuation
trip over the
bags.
phone cord.
Your red bags are left in rooms. In that red bag, you'll have a diagram of the campus.
Well, but
And
I
you
am
can
not
do that
supposed
if
to
you look
lift
at-
anything
so you're a
today.
first responder, you have that immediately. Oh, this is what it looks like right here.
And
right
you're
now.
chunky.
You don't need blueprints. You don't need to. And the challenge was some of those
This kid
diagrams
is
are wrong.
solid.
I mean, some were correct, but some are wrong.
So
and one of the ones that was wrong was used to look at and go, hey, what about a sniper's location?
you are solid.
If you look at it, it looks like the library covers the windows. In the back, it would eliminate a sniper position. So and that's an example that why it's important to have the
That's all my
diagrams correctly.
blueprint stuff.
Emergency response communication enhancement system. That goes back to the radio system. There are systems, and we saw it after 9/11 when we had officers and firefighters that were killed in 9/11
This
because they
freaking
couldn't
thing,
get
I swear to God, is going to drive me insane.
glass and things like that. Prevent communications and-
Yeah, it probably is too
or
late.
enhance
Hey, can I have a cracker?
communications by,
Could Daddy have
by
one?
taking the signal.
Could Daddy
and
have a
they-
cracker?
And they increasing that signal.
Hey.
And who antennas on campus in that regard. That'd be some of the things. And again, the experts are going to be school safety centers, not the department. It relates to school, but That's our
Now
thing to
you
be
can give me
strong
another one?
immediately based upon this campus and this particular event that we identified and had discussed it with the commission.
There's not adequate service.
Now you're going to steal it back.
We all know that there are areas where there is inadequate service for telephones, for radios, et cetera, specifically cell phones.
Yes, sir. Yes, ma'am.
What can we do to ensure that at all of our schools, we do
I'm sorry,
have
guys.
enough
I am trying to
power
get this
ensure that there
to
is
work
effective
right,
communications
and
among
it is
people who
not
have cell
cooperating.
phones, among people who have radios?
Well, cell phones did work, obviously, inside the school. So the cellular backbone was sufficient in Uvalde that day. That's how the chief communicated with the dispatcher. That's how Chloe.
Nah, Stang, you didn't miss anything. They were dragging this
Cell phones
phone
work,
out
it's
for
just the
everything.
portable
That worked.
radios that first responders had didn't. And the irony of ironies, but and of course the only thing you can do.
And I'm
with a
playing
radio
around with
system,
settings right
this
now,
system
trying
was
to
really not, is
connect
not
my
designed-
wireless
It
headphone
wasn't designed as needed for what the requirements in terms of school safety or
to the
in this
computer,
situation and others. You know, replace
and it
or
is
going back
not
to what I talked
wanting
about before,
to
there's a way you can buy or
act
a
right.
technological solution that you can expand the signal.
So they're,
from
I mean,
inside
they're
the
still
school.
messing around on the. Let's go back to the Texas hearing.
What I'm trying to do is see what we can learn from Uvalde, from the horrific tragedy, to ensure that we address the problem statewide.
Well, every school should be evaluated for that. We should, there should be, and I know that, and there'll be other people will testify, including some great professionals, city chiefs and ISD chiefs that will be testifying and what they're doing and proactively in that regard. But if you're going to do active shooter training, it's always best we do it together. Okay, it's always best to do it at a school location where there's no kids. And it's always best to check the whole system, not just in terms of how you respond together as a team,
Let's
but
do this.
communicate
Let's
as well.
completely
And of
remove
course,
the
there's no reason
device.
why we can't test all those radios, okay, to make sure everybody's radio operates inside a school. And for that matter,
That's
you know,
my point.
large public buildings.
And that's my point. For example, if you're in
It
the
says I'm connected. Okay, I have actual audio now. It's my computer headphone app. It's at 100%. Okay. Dude, Mustang, you are completely right. Need to go back in time. Hell, me and my wife, there's a car place we pass all the time when we're headed in and out of town. And they've got a DeLorean sitting out in their lot right now. We were headed through there the other night. My wife was like, "Is that a DeLorean?" And I'm driving, so I look back and was like, I can't really see it, but yeah, that's a freaking DeLorean. Shit, it worked better if I opened it.
Had that many already, huh?
No, I haven't actually. But I'm also running off of about an hour's worth of sleep last night.
I bought melatonin.
Bye-bye. Wait. Come on. You can hang out. You got your cracker. You see the hot dogs I got for him? And the buns and everything?
Yeah, I got bratwurst in the oven.
Okay.
Right
Well, okay. I get the slobbery into the cookie. Thank you. Thank you.
No, thank you. I
That
don't like, no,
that part of the cookie
No,
was
thank-
awful
thank-
squishy.
no, th-
You might as well take it. Yeah, that part of the cookie was awful slobbery.
Good thing I love you, kid.
No kidding. Greyhound's feeling kind of down today.
Yeah, she was coughing this morning.
Yeah. Feels like she's got some sinus stuff going on.
Yeah, I told her I'd call off today if she wanted me to. She said no.
Well, that's why Dad drove me to my appointment today.
I know.
Oh.
I know things.
I'll tell you what, when they did the injections today, she found the nerves.
Wow.
I haven't had a epidural that has been that painful yet. That joker was kicking.
How you feeling now, though?
The anesthetics wore off, so I feel like hell. And I wouldn't be doing this, but we're fixing to run into some really major gun control laws and non-compliance in my opinion is going to be where it's at.
I did take apart 2 Savage rifles that need to be
Bolt guns or
bolt.
Cool deal.
Yeah, they're
Did they have the AccuTriggers?
one did.
Okay. I love that Savage AccuTrigger. I love that thing.
Taking those apart. He's getting a muzzle brake.
Are you threading the barrel or is it threaded already?
I'm going to thread the barrel and then I'm going to Cerakote it.
Okay. Cool deal.
I need help taking the bolts apart.
I can't remember how I used to disassemble the bolt on that Savage that I had.
Oh, there's a screw on the back. I just can't. I can't wrench it tight enough to get it
Yeah.
to the top.
All right, me and my wife are discussing her gunsmithing adventures because she's gunsmithing and I'm welding, and I'm jealous. Because she gets to work on really cool shit, and I get to weld T-joints.
I parked her as an M1 Garand not long ago.
I know you did. And she's an SDI grad, so I'm going through this now after she went through it. So she's a certified badass, and I'm playing catch up. But I can still pinch her nipples or knuckles.
You missed.
Oh,
Better
you're
call
talking
Kobe.
about me missing.
Better.
You hit everything but my nipple most of the time when you try to pinch it.
Yeah, but at least I shoot better than you. What else did I work on today? Ruger P32.
A what?
Ruger P32.
A Ruger P32?
P32?
I've never. Well, I've probably seen it.
No,
I just don't
I might have
remember.
the number
'cause
wrong. It might be something else.
Rugers typically aren't P whatevers.
It's a P something, I'm pretty sure. I've worked on so many fucking guns.
You sure it doesn't have to be?
No. My problem is I've worked on so many. I don't remember what the hell's what.
Yeah, well, I can't say that. So kiss my ass. I build AKs. That's what I do.
I do that at work.
No,
I get paid for that.
you fix parts and pieces on AKs. I build AKs. There's a difference.
Yeah, but I get paid for it.
Yeah, you do. Because I don't get paid for the AKs I build right now.
Please don't leave me on the floor.
What is it? Oh,
I don't know what it is, but it doesn't need to be on the
it's
floor.
a muscle relaxer.
Yeah.
And why it was laying over there, I have no idea. But I'll take it.
Okay.
Where's your Sippy at? Go find Sippy. My 2-year-old.
Oh,
Huh?
the
I'm s-
shotgun we got in today.
My wife's over here going, ooh, the shotgun we got in today.
Yeah.
What kind of shotgun?
I can't remember the Bannerman. Bannerman, something like that. It's
don't-
really old, and it's a top eject.
Yeah.
It's cool as shit.
Is it a lever?
No, it's pump, I believe.
So it's a pump top eject.
Yeah.
Positive eject.
Yeah. It's cool as shit.
I bet it is. Because, I mean, most of the, you know yourself, all the pumps that we see now are going to be freaking side ejects or bottom ejects, or most of what we see right now is not a positive top eject. Do you have clothes on? Go throw a shirt on.
Yeah, go throw a shirt on.
Go throw a shirt on. You want to come in here? Sorry. Talking to my 5-year-old.
Yeah. That.
My 5-year-old believes that when you get comfortable, you strip. What is the vote tally on this right now? That's what I need to know. Mustang, yeah, we've got. Oh God, we've got a couple of shotties we got to work on right now. One's an old Remington Huntback, where we're gonna have to take apart the bolt just to clean it because it is absolutely filthy. That thing has decades of carbon built up in it. Now, this dude's talking about having shields, and Legally Armed America said that the police, when they were at Uvalde, had shields already. Oh, yeah. I mean, you don't have to drop the bolt completely and tear it apart, but with as many years and as many decades as is on these parts, yeah, we're going to have to strip it completely. Where's the Senate at? Oh, the Senate's still dragging ass. They talk about this Uvalde shooter dragging a bag full of dead cats around. Oh yeah, this particular shotgun is so Remington Huntback. So I haven't looked up the serial numbers on it. It's I'll just say pre-65. And it has never, ever been cleaned. So we got to re-blue it, clean it, re-blue it, and assemble it. One of the springs in it was just snapped in half. So got a new spring for it. It's basically complete restoration. Oh, here we go with the fucking video games. Was he a gamer? Someone playing first-person shooters and then being a shooter in a high school have no relation whatsoever.
Oh, don't give me that face.
What you doing, Mo? Huh? Come here. What are you doing? Why? Why are we upset?
Mom gave me a disgusting medicine coming.
Mom gave you a what?
Disgusting medicine.
Quit the crying. Drama. Quit the crying. Come here. Let's see. Let me expand this out. And we'll get it. All right, so there you are. So you're chilling on a live stream, so no tears. No tears. Did you get you plenty of sleep today? Yeah. We're gonna stay up all night again tonight?
Mm-mm.
No, we're not. Because you were up all night tonight. Or last night. You are my child. An absolute night owl. I love you. Come here. God, you're getting so big. So, wait, everybody. Here, let me do this. I'll pull it up on the other end of it. Because we're still waiting on... Yep, we're goofing off. Wave hi to everybody. Don't just do a... Tell everybody, hey, what's up? It's a little behind. So what's going on in Streamlabs, this is a little behind. So it's weird. You got a few seconds of delay. Okay. Yeah, I wish I had a flux capacitor for sure. But then again, if we were doing things by oh, good Lord, this thing's getting crazy. Yeah, if we were doing things by good Lord.
The chicken nugget?
Yeah, with the chicken nugget? Yeah, that's about right.
That thing's going crazy.
Warsaw, I have no idea. It could be 5 minutes, could be forever. As far as going live. I'm going to try to hang out as long as I can to actually watch what the Senate's doing right now. But like I said earlier, I am tired. Last night was like an hour's worth of sleep, and the night before was probably 3 hours worth of sleep, and the night before that, hell, I can't even remember. So I'm getting to that point where sleep will kick in and come on down. Hey, you high fives? Cause stand up. You high fives? To the side. Down low. High, too slow. Yeah, I love you, baby. Yeah, Warsaw, dude, if you're around a little bit, go ahead and hop on, brother. The link's in the chat. You know me. I post a link in the chat, and it is open. Ow, child. Them bony knees. Them bony knees digging into my legs. When did you wake up today?
about half an hour before I got there.
You slept all day. You are your daddy's child.
So my mom gave me disgusting medicine gummy.
And Mama gave you disgusting medicine? Why did Mama give you disgusting medicine? Were you coughing again? Oh, yeah. Well. Come on.
It was so
down.
disgusting.
Down. Oh! Daddy's going to use the restroom, so.
You did a bit there. You asked Dad for ABCs.
ABCs. So
No, dude, I'm actually going to try to stay awake through this one. And it just depends on how far the Senate goes tonight. They pretty much have to vote on this bill tonight.
yeah.
No, coffee doesn't even work anymore, Mustang. Trust me. I'm way beyond coffee. I would have to move up to much more stronger chemicals.
Yeah. Hey, baby.
Hmm.
Hey. What's that?
What did he say?
Cookie.
Oh,
Sign language.
you teaching sign language now?
Nana
Mama,
is.
what's this?
I wasn't ready.
Cookie.
This is cool to me. My 2-year-old is apparently learning sign language. Works for me.
What did it say?
Apparently I'm gonna have to learn sign language. Yeah, corn pop ain't nothing changed, brother. They are still dragging their butts on voting for this bill going to the floor tonight, basically. So
And
you haven't missed much.
the baby gate for my brother absolutely scratched me.
The baby gate scratched you? All right, well, no, show no scratches, okay?
Yeah.
Huh?
Why?
Because I know, but we can do scratches later, okay?
Okay.
Get fast.
So when you're
Knuckle
done
bumps, pinkies.
so when you're done with this video, can I hold this snake?
Maybe, baby. It just depends on how long this takes, and this is taking forever. Warsaw, I'm gonna be up for a while, brother. Until this is pretty much done, I'm gonna be up. Because these so-called Republican senators, the 13 that actually vote for this law, they need to be voted out as quickly as possible. So I want to make sure that people see this. I might do a video on one of the guys from Florida that Rich told me about, which is one of his representatives. And I posted a comment about why his representative doesn't like gun rights. And it got at least one guy to actually do some research on him. And the guy was like, I was going to commit a lot of money towards this person and I was going to support them. And since I saw your post and did a little research, I'm not giving this guy any money. So that's kind of why I want to do this. At least Tommy Tuberville voted against some of this BS. Which I basically told Tommy Tuberville and multiple social media posts that if he votes for any of this, then I will use whatever power I have to get people to vote against him. Let me refresh this. Okay, so Night Strike's up and running. You guys that don't want to hear me just run my mouth, you can jump over to Night Strike because he's up and going. Guns and Gear Review podcast, they're pretty good. Donut Operator's up and doing his stream, so you guys that know him, he's up and running. Jenny 1911, she is really cool. She is running her stream right now.
Dad, I just said hashtag.
Huh? You just said hashtag? Hashtag what? You child, when I was 5 years old, I didn't know anything about anything as far as hashtag. I did. Oh, child. What we are raising our children in right now. You'll see 10 pulls up right now. Tactical Rifleman's up. I didn't think. Well, I'm losing days here. So got a lot of cool people up right now. So if you are really tired of waiting on the Senate to do their thing, there are many other options. And I'm going to hit the restroom real quick. Look out. I might probably get them. Watch your room, watch your shit. Cat, you've already been on YouTube enough tonight. Yes, your cat has been a YouTube star tonight.
Not surprising.
Senate's still dragging. Look at how few people are on the Senate floor right now. You got what looks like some people in the back. You got all these guys up here are apprentices. This is ridiculous. What are you doing, boy? Did you hit your foot with the door? Did you hit your foot with the door? Yeah, you hit your foot with the door, huh? Hey, can something make it better? You gonna wave to everybody? Here, let's.
Wednesday. I know.
I know.
Bubba.
So see, look. Wubba,
I know.
Wubba, you're right up here.
Right
Yep.
here.
Yep.
Yep, you're right there. Yep, that's the bacon. Bacon posted a link. Where are you pointing at this time? Well, that's just the screen. So, let's see. Oh, I'm gonna hit the wrong thing one of these days. No, sir. No typing. No typing. No typing. No, sir. No, sir. No typing. Although you can probably type better than me. You can certainly write better than me already. No, sir. No, sir. No enter. No deletes. Nothing. No, sir. And Daddy doesn't have a touch screen like Mama. Daddy's not cool. No, sir. Come on. Then come down. You know what?
That's right.
Huh? You want to sing Johnny Johnny while we're waiting on the Senate because they're useless? You want to sing Johnny Johnny? Yeah, we're just hanging out, guys. If you guys didn't look at the stream, we are hanging out, waiting on the Senate to vote. So I got kiddos and wife and cats, and I shoot the stuff raw. So there's no editing involved in this. Which I find way better than a bunch of edited stuff. Yeah, dude. Mustang, I am all about handcuffs and silly string. Just all you gotta do is let me know and I'm there. Yeah, wife's back there going, don't tell them our secrets. Yeah, silly string, handcuffs, rock and roll. I'm all about it. Yeah, too bad. Times have changed horribly. You could have gone and seen him the other day. You can go see him anytime. I'll pick the kiddos up tomorrow night and you can go see Spartan.
I need to take a trip down to Rural Cane and get some T-posts. Start fencing this bitch in.
Yeah, well, we just need to order them and then take a trip down there.
Either or.
I'm about to pull ones from the garden and fence the chickens in.
Yes.
Because our chickens are like roaming the whole neighborhood right now.
I know.
I'm pretty sure a lot of them are down there with I can't keep straight. Andy, yeah.
I know John had a couple.
Huh?
I know John had a couple.
I hit the post office today and I mailed out the plasma cuts for Corn Pop, for Flying Rich, and for 2A 3D print. And there was this big hen chicken walking around the parking lot. Big old pretty thing. I think she was actually a bar rock.
So not one of ours?
No, not one of ours.
I was supposed to say.
I was like, I could so kidnap that hen in a hurry.
I've been known to take
And
chickens to
there
work.
was this black chick. She'd come out of the post office when I did. And she was like, whose chicken is that? I was like, hey, wait a second. I have chickens and they run my entire neighborhood. So
There ain't no telling whose chicken it is.
there's no telling whose chicken that is.
Or you can be like me and have them
Pretty
freaking
bird,
stowed away in the back of your truck and you take them to work.
Well, you took 2 to work.
No, I took one to work and one flew out on the way to work. Never did get that one back.
Yeah, I caught the one that was under the or in the tool or on top of the toolbox before I pulled out of the driveway. Yes. If you ever have chickens and you have a pickup truck, check your truck before you leave because chickens will be in it. Yeah, it was hysterical because like I said, I mailed out 3 plasma cuts, and the chicken was not in the parking lot before I went and did my thing to mail out plasma cuts. Well, I walk out, there's a hen chicken, it's obviously hen, walking around the parking lot, and there's this black chick asking about whose chicken is that. I'm like, it's not mine, but you have to realize that when you have chickens, unless you have them fenced in, they go everywhere. Everywhere. Yeah. If you have chickens, Tonto covers are an absolute must. I mean, it's to the point where I pull up at home and I go to get the kids out of the truck. So I unlock the truck and I go to pull the kids out so that my back doors are open. And I pull kids out, walk up the stairs with them, come back down the stairs, and there are chickens in my truck. If you have chickens, plan on having a pack of wild dogs because that is about what they act like. Those are the headphones. Jeff, what's up, brother? We are hanging out watching to see whether the Senate actually gets a vote on this gun control bill and listening to the Texas Senate on this Uvalde shooting. So yeah. Dude, Mustang? Yeah, absolutely. I've definitely been we cleaned it was early 2019 when a bunch of shit was going on. And I cleaned out my truck so I could put my AKs under the back seat and I cleaned so many different rounds out of my truck, it wasn't even funny. 30-06, 308, 7.62 by 39, 5.56, 223, 9 mil, 45 ACP. Yeah, shotgun shells everywhere. I had 12 gauge shotgun shells for days in my truck. Matter of fact, if I go look at it right now, I guarantee you I can find more shot shells. And a finished Polymer 80 Glock 19 lower is in the truck right now. And that will be finished up this next month. Oh man, Mustang, if you'd walked up on my porch like, I don't know, 6 months ago, there was all this 2A stuff up there. It was the Gas and Snake. It was a design I did with 2 Cross AKs. Come and take them. And there were shotgun shells all over my porch. So that's a house you don't want to try to rob, just to inform the general public. Oh, dude, clutch? Hell yes. Mountain. Oh God. There's so many songs from Clutch. I can't even remember. Quick Death in Texas. Yeah, dude. Yeah, if you're sitting around chilling, listening to Clutch, rock and roll. All right, let's see what Senate is. Senate's still fucking circle jerking. Let me see something, because we can go back to if you ever want to know what the government's doing, C-SPAN is a great resource. As much as I hate C-SPAN, see all these people raise their hand. Yeah, I'm not lying to you at all, but I'm lying to you. So, damn, the Texas hearing is still going on live. Let's see where they're at right now, because we're listening to the early part of it. Let's see where they're at live. Okay, so we got that muted. Because everything Texas is using in this argument right now is going to be used to push for national gun control.
When you get background check, even if I already have a gun?
Huh?
Oh, the lady.
Oh. I haven't even fixed dinner yet. The wife is fixing it. Bratwurst, sauerkraut. She's got everything cooked on the stove and then did it in the oven. Yeah, so we'll rock and roll here in a little bit. Got some hot dogs for the kids. I got some chili because chili and sauerkraut and onions is amazing.
What is wrong with you?
There's a lot wrong with me. You already know that.
Yes, but I didn't know this particular bit of information. This is my.
You knew I would eat onions and everything else when you married me.
No. It's the sauerkraut and the chili and the onions together. That's disgusting.
Give me a kiss.
Are you pregnant?
Give me a kiss. Oh, gross.
No.
I will change. I got wireless headphones on right now, Heifer.
Ugh. Hey, can I get you a squeeze? Squeeze, please, if it won't hurt you.
Nah, squeezing ain't hurt. Like your back refuses to pop.
Try up high. It doesn't work.
No.
Ow.
No, your back.
Ew.
You want a muscle relaxer?
No.
You sure? I'll give you a back one.
No, thanks.
Mike, yeah, you're kicking ass with those. I swear to God, if I could let my playlist loose on YouTube without like suffering serious copyright strikes, you guys would hear old blues from like the 50s and 60s, like Skip James. If you don't know who Skip James is, you haven't lived. Skip James is absolutely amazing. To Five Finger Death Punch, which, you know, in our relevant times, it's that wide, and a lot of country. Merle Haggard, yeah, I will rock and roll with a very wide range of music. Even Gangster Grass. If you guys have not looked into Gangster Grass, you are really sheltered. See. This computer's a POS. Yeah, Mike, dude, I rock with tons of different music. Like I say, old school blues, rock and roll. Yeah, dude, I rock with a lot of guys. BB King is absolutely amazing. But you want to know who's amazing that got wrapped up in the idea of like a chick band? Is John Mayer. John Mayer playing with BB King is absolutely amazing, because John Mayer is an absolute artist. And he got caught up in the whole chick band thing and Your Body's a Wonderland and a bunch of other shit. And people did not realize how good of an artist he was. Clint swears to God he can't leave me alone with old Abigail Harmon. That's our COVID coordinator. I told you about her.
I don't remember her.
She's the BLM activist,
Oh,
but she's also redheaded.
what a shame.
And I told Clint there is no way in hell I could be around that chick for too long.
Not without offending her.
Oh, I'd offend the shit out of her. First time she figured out I was helping students learn how to build guns, she'd be like,
You'd be fired.
oh yeah, I would. I'd be toast. I still got to text Johnny. JSD is back up and running now, so I got to text Johnny and see whether he's check JSD for any kind of parts that he needs. Yeah, dude, bacon, gangster grass. Oh yeah.
Oh, I got that shotgun together today.
Which one?
Stevens. It's not unlocking, which is kind of a problem.
It's not unlocking.
Yeah, you know, like with the pump shotgun.
Oh, so it's
once
a pump.
It fires,
Okay.
It's not
Yeah.
letting loose.
So that's a problem with the action bar then.
Mm-mm.
You don't think it's a problem with the action bar?
No, it's a slide lock.
Okay. Yeah, my wife gets to work on cool shit like guns all day, and I still have to just teach welding.
I didn't get to work on that 500 Smith. I was so fucking mad. Got a high point in the other day.
You got a high point in the other day?
Yeah. I can't remember who, but they asked what was wrong with it. I said, well, it's a high point.
Yeah, my wife's over here laughing. They got a high point in the other day at the gunsmith shop. She's like, yeah, your problem is a high point. Now, the high point 40 cal that I had when I think I just turned 21.
I forgot you had a high point.
I did, and it was in 40 cal. It was in the problem solver. That gun never jammed, and it was accurate.
Yeah, you got a unicorn.
I put the ghost ring sight on the back side of it, and if it got dirty, I just sprayed it down with brake clean, ran it, and let it ride.
You got a unicorn.
That gun was freaking heavy as all hell, but it ran. Union metallic cartridge, UMC. I could run that shit through that gun all day long, and it would spit the brass out like it never there was never a hiccup.
Well, we had an odd gun come in today.
Hmm.
I don't know what it was, but it was 10 millimeter
I got
.41 rimfire.
Huh?
It was a weird cartridge.
10 millimeter rimfire?
Yeah, .41 rimfire. I think.
I've never seen that critter in my life.
I think.
Yeah. If any of you guys know anything about a 10 millimeter, hey, Safety Doc, what's up, brother? Safety Doc, as a matter of fact, I am working on something for you. And I hope to send it out by probably next week. I still have to read your second book. I have not got a chance to actually read the second book. The first book was absolutely amazing. I haven't had a chance to read the second yet. Oh, in 94 here today, Safety Doc. Come on, man. It was 110 like 2 days ago here. I got you beat. You just got done like shoveling snow. We're shoveling humidity. All right, let's look at the Senate. What's the Senate doing?
Not a goddamn thing.
Oh, no, they're still beating off, apparently. But yeah, Safety Doc, I am working on a design for you. And I'm going to try to get that shit out here shortly. Oh, Chuck Schumer speaking. Oh, what? What did I do? Apparently, I hit the wrong button because my mouse pad is being extra sensitive because right now no one is speaking. I flip back to Chuck Schumer. Hold on, I'm going to refresh this entire damn page. Because right now, all these jokers are just sitting around jacking off. Can everybody hear what this joker's talking about right now? Oh, hold on. We're live with Chris Murphy. Yeah, safety doc. Yeah, I've been involved in probably 3 lockdowns at a college. Jesus Christ, will this tab just not mute? That's supposed to be muted. That's supposed to be muted. Okay. So they might actually try to carry this over to tomorrow. Yep, they're going to carry it over to tomorrow. So 11 a.m. tomorrow, these guys are going to freaking probably vote on this. So, Jesus Christ. So we're off for tomorrow. So this dude is admitting that the officers who were trying to stop the shooting in Uvalde, 1 had rifles, 2 they had ballistic shields. Already they had them. Four shields. Fuck, my leg's killing me. Yeah, Jeff Korn, they had just covered what to do about a school shooter right before the POS went to shooting people. They just covered it. Bacon, you suck with those temperatures. 77 degrees, little humidity, gonna be in the 80s this weekend. Dude, do you have any idea how many people I won't say that. How many people I would shake hands with to have those temperatures right now? Yeah, Mustang. This is all about, believe it or not, this is all about these people using our tax dollars to turn around and take our rights away from us. That's the whole thing this amounts to. We are paying these people through our tax dollars to actually take our rights away from us. Yeah, you're right, Bacon. There has to be some benefits to living in the Pacific Northwest. With all the BLM and all Antifa and everything else, there has to be a benefit, which is the weather. You don't see Antifa running down Alabama wearing all black in the goddamn summertime. Them little bastards would melt. Agorizer, what's happening, brother? Oh, here we go. $171 rounds this douchebag fired. Yep. Safety Doc, you're 100% right, brother.
No, thank you.
Yeah, Agorizer, I am living in AC right now and trying not to go outside. But I've been outside quite a bit of today. I work with the guys in the shop, or I almost bit my damn tongue. I work with the guys in the shop till right about 1 o'clock. Then I had to have a steroid epidural in my back. So I had to have a driver, even though I drove everywhere afterwards. I had to have a driver on file. So met with my dad. My dad was my driver. Yeah. Steroid epidurals, in case you guys don't know, if they get it in the right place, steroid epidurals fucking suck. Psychological screening and training. Yep. So psychological screening and training. In other words, you have to turn your medical records over to these people to allow you to actually purchase a firearm. Gizzard Gary, what's happening, brother? The Senate is not going to vote tonight, Gary, so they're going to push that shit off for tomorrow. So I'm hanging out for another little bit, just going over this Uvalde hearing. Freaking Solitude Surfer, man. I love you to death. You come up with some shit. Oh, yeah. Man Against Masses, it was probably about 100 degrees today. It was nowhere near like last week. Last week was 110 in Alabama for us. So, yeah, dude, this week hasn't been as brutal as last week. It is hurt, but not as bad. Freaking Solitude Surfer can get it, man. I love it. Here's a joke for you guys. And I don't know whether you guys have some of you guys that have been on the stream have heard this one before. Some of you guys haven't. So since we're off of it and we're waiting for the rest of this BS to go on, we can talk a little shit. So little Johnny's driving his mom crazy. I mean, he is driving his mom nuts. And his mom sees his house being built right next door to him and tells Johnny, said, why don't you go outside? Can you guys hear this? By the way, I want to make sure you can hear this because my headphones are freaking crazy. So his mom points him outside and says, look, go to the house next door and watch the guys making the house, and maybe you will learn something. And little Johnny's out there for like a whole freaking week. I mean, he's watching them every freaking day. Well, his mom comes out there on Friday when the guys are about to cut out to work, and Johnny has this brick wall built, and it looks beautiful. And his mom goes, look, Johnny, can I help you with something? And Johnny says, look, yeah. He said, you see that freaking brick up there on the right? And his mom went, yeah. He said, move it about a cunt hair to the right. And his mom started to lose her shit. What did you say to me? He said, you heard me. Move it about a cunt hair to the right. She went, go cut me a switch. And little Johnny went, fuck you. That's an electrician's job. So, in case all of you don't know, there are divisions among labor in building anything. And electricians and plumbers don't get along. Yeah, Mustang got it. Cat, how many times do I have to throw you on the floor? How many times do I have to launch you? We have been over your YouTube fandom and your YouTube stardom for a while now. Go. Oh, good Lord. Jeff Corn said he can attest to that. Yep, dude. Years ago, when I was doing plumbing work for a company, we were pulling PEX piping, which you pull PEX water piping kind of like you do electrical. It's very similar to the way you pull that through a house. Well, the framers went through after we pulled all the PEX piping, and they did their decking in the attic and a bunch of other things, and they just freaking shot our lines full of holes. When we got back to that job and we turned it on, it looked like an overhead sprinkler system. It was that bad. And I had to go in and fix all of that stuff. I was so ill with framers at that point. I could have, there's no end to the amount of pain I would have caused them. Because we had 3/4 lines and 1/2-inch lines run through the attic, run through a manifold system. Everything was set up beautiful. And when they shot everything with those nails, they tore it apart. The only thing worse than them is directional borers.
What's a lesbian's favorite seed?
Solitude, you are the man. We're going to listen to a little bit more of this stuff and about this shooting in Uvalde, and I'm going to probably rack out here in a little bit, but we're going to listen to it. Yeah, man. Dude, when like earlier, because I'm a subscriber of Flying Rich, but when Crump puts up a stream, I will be on Crump's stream and I'll be on Rich's stream. And then DLD started up his stream, so I was on DLD's stream. So I was like 3 streams plus all the stuff on C-SPAN. It's a freaking night. What is this crazy ass cat doing? So I got a cat knocking over everything I stacked up earlier. And then, of course, we got DLD going in just a little bit. So I thought I would be asleep way before DLD went on his stream, but I might catch a little bit of it, and then I am going to crash. So DLD is live already, guys. I didn't realize he was live already. So I'm about to bounce over there. I'm going to end my stream. Especially since the Senate's not doing anything till probably tomorrow. So you guys bounce over to DLD. If you don't subscribe to DLD, you need to be subscribed because DLD is freaking outstanding. So I love you guys. Y'all subscribe to DLD, and I'm going to be in the chat over there in like, I don't know, 3 minutes. So I'm fixing to kill this. So you guys take them easy. Be cool. Carry that thing. make sure it's on you at all times. Like that. Y'all guys take them easy. I will see you in DLD's chat later.